2, 1.
Good morning and welcome to the WGP WaterJet Offshore World Championship. I'm Dawn Dawson along with Nick C.
Hello, hello.
And we are going to be helping you navigate an incredible 3 days of racing. This is going to be an incredible endurance offshore event. And that event is actually firing off already with an incredible Sea-Doo challenge. Those guys have already hit the water. Let's talk a little bit about the course today. We're going to be navigating 60 kilometers. It's going to be 2 laps. And on those 2 laps, they are going to get a fuel stop. An incredible number of riders from around the world, Nick.
That's right, Nick. And like we just saw earlier, they already let go with the first category. So we're going to get a chance to see what it takes in this competition, this offshore endurance, what kind of physical strength they need to finish the competition.
Yeah, and I tell you what, this isn't done alone. They bring teams out here to make sure not only are they fueling correctly, because there are big penalties if you don't handle those fueling stations correct, and also there is a trick to this one, which I think is going to be fun to watch. There are 2 zones where they come in, they have to go down to 30 kilometers per hour, and then once they leave the beach, they also have to go 30 kilometers per hour. Big penalties if they don't make that.
Well, it's 120 Ks. That's. I'm talking about endurance. This is endurance.
It really is. Yep. A lot of arm pump. These guys have been training for this for months. This is one of the biggest offshore events around the world. I'm very excited to watch this week.
Well, you got to get a chance to see who will be the champion, though, for this one for 2023, Don. I'll tell you that.
Let's talk about the different divisions. Today we're going to be watching stock class. We are also going to get to watch limited, and we're going to watch the open. That is going to happen tomorrow and the next day. We've also got a bunch of entertainment, I heard, as well. Live DJs and bands here.
Concerts, it's in there. We got concerts.
That's right. So we are fulfilling the complete fantasy of Phuket, one of the largest tourist areas in Thailand and incredibly famous globally. In fact, when I told everybody I was coming over here, I was getting a lot of jealous looks.
Well, see, I live here, so I get the chance to... I'm here all the time, baby. You know what I'm talking about? But you know what? Let me give you an opportunity to see what Phuket's all about. We're going to check out the VTR. Go check it out.
All right, you guys, welcome back as we get ready to roll. As we talked about earlier, Nick, we are already off with the Sea-Doo Challenge. Let's get a little bit of backstory on that.
Let's do it.
All right, so the Sea-Doo Challenge is actually a bunch of local watercraft enthusiasts that have done racing before. They're going to do a little bit different course today. They're actually going around the island like one of the old races. That's how the old endurance races were. They took the entire island, which is insane. Now, the course for this weekend is going to be a little bit different. They're going to be running along this side of the coast. There are 10 bases or 10 big buoys that they are going to be navigating. But the thing that we want to emphasize today are two specific areas. Number one, of course, is going to be safety. And the second area that we really want to talk a little bit about is how they're going to be handling the racers out on the track. Let's talk safety first.
Well, the safety-wise, now what I've noticed is there's offshore and onshore safety precautions. Now, I know there's five on offshore,
Yes.
ready to go for them in case anything happens,
Yep.
right? And then, of course, offshore, all our marshals have that in check. So I think safety should be good. I think we should be covered just perfect for this event.
I do too, and they've actually added some increased safety measures this year as well. This is going to be not only a really fun race to watch, but two things I want to make you aware of. GoTech 7 has actually brought all of the technology for us to be able to do GPS tracking on each of these riders. They're going to be having a tracker on their vest. Some of the riders will be having cameras as well, so we're going to get some onboard action. So there is a specific SOS button on there. If for whatever reason rider goes off the boat, injured, whatever happens out there, and there's obviously it is
Things can happen. Yes.
Yep, it's a dangerous but fun sport. They have to press that button for 3 seconds, and then they will have a water official on them immediately. But here's an added measure, which I think you'll be really impressed with. The way that this GPS system works, if the rider slows down below a minimum amount of miles per hour, then what those guys are able to do is their GPS starts to blink automatically. So all of the officials back on the beach will immediately be notified them, and they'll start watching them. Yeah.
Well, see, that's technology for you.
That's
all right?
amazing. So if you're going too slow for very long, they're going to come and check on you anyway.
Well, that's a good thing, though, because things happen out there that sometimes we can't see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this thing really comes in handy when emergencies happen.
I can't agree with you more, and I think that this adds a whole lot of more security, if you will, not only for the riders, but for the teams as well.
Exactly.
So a couple of things that you're going to watch on the water. If a rider goes down, let's say you have boat problems. Now, typically, Nick, you and I both know, they'll tow the rider back into the start.
Yep.
But this time, that's not how they're going to play. Because we've got so many extra boats out there, what they're going to do is they're going to take the rider over to the boat. And they're going to stay by that boat until the race finishes, and then they'll bring him in safely.
Okay.
All right? So
All right.
You're up to date now on how we handled the safety procedures this weekend.
Well, you know what? Like I said earlier today, if you've never been here to Phuket, I mean, if you've never, I know a lot of people have probably seen Phuket on TV, YouTube, and places like that.
I know I have, yes.
But if once you get here, when you get here and experience the, you know what I mean? You tell me, Don. You tell me.
Whole nother vibe. It's interesting to me. I've had the privilege of traveling quite a bit, but the energy and friendliness and joy that the Thai people have is unparalleled, truly.
Well, like you told me earlier about the bucket list. A lot of people have Phuket on their bucket list, and it is the top 10 beautiful beaches in the world, year in and year out.
And I can certainly see why. Just flying in yesterday over the island, taking a chance to just look out over the water, man, I got to say, it was absolutely a breathtaking sight. I will say this, though. I was seeing some white ladies as they were picking up. Those waves out there are going to get impressive this weekend.
All right. Well, let's see how things will fan out today, right here at Laguna, Phuket.
Okay, so in Laguna, Phuket, we are actually situated. This is our start and finish line. What you're looking at on the screen, this is going to be our area where we have all of the staging. The teams, one of the team managers will be at one of these white tables. There's a whole series of them throughout each race. They're going to be bringing in the team managers. We do that for a couple reasons. Back to safety of one.
Yes, safety
but
first.
Also, if there is something going on, they're able to see that on that live screen. So you'll be seeing these guys here staged in this area throughout the different days of the racing. I want to also talk about our race directors for this weekend. We've got Peter de Smet from Belgium, who will be one of our race directors along with Simon Ricks out of the USA and Robert Sand, our tech director. Also, Aparak, a.k.a. PED, will be another race director for us. A big-time race director. Of course, has handled, I think, the regional races for years and years, and, of course, the world-renowned Thai series.
Yes, and and I almost forgot, Don. Let's go ahead and go to the VTR of the race course and let him check out what the course is all about.
WGP Offshore World Championship 2023, 16th to 19th March at Laguna, Phuket.
All right. You know what? That's amazing. 120 kilometers back and forth.
It's insane.
You want to try that one day? Maybe you and I we tried riding that thing.
Yeah,
120,
it's going
60
to be
kilometers?
a lot longer for us to do one of those laps than it is going to be for those guys. Bang Tao Beach is going to be our race start point. You got a chance to take a look at those different beaches. Patong Beach, which is famous.
Oh,
My
yes.
gosh.
Yes.
I heard about that before I even got here. Camelot Beach, it's a beautiful, quiet stretch of sand located around 9.5 kilometers north of Patong in Phuket. And then, of course, the big one is going to be Promtep Cape. Now, that is their final turnaround buoy. If you see it on the camera, look for buoy number 10.
10.
Yep, it's going to be 10 buoys out there. By the way, just so you kind of follow along with the race with us, the riders will be going on the left-hand side, each way, actually. So the buoy has to be on the left.
Left, okay.
If for some reason you miss a buoy, that is a 10-point deduction for you guys if you miss. And then the Promtep Cape is going to be that turnaround for them to head back.
So they just want to make sure they want to keep their left side towards the buoy at all times.
Yep, and don't get distracted sightseeing, as particularly
Okay,
on
you
that
can,
turnaround.
yeah. Especially when you're out there, if you're leading the pack, and sometimes you forget, because the breeze is real nice today too. So you got to be very careful with concentration is most important.
So, by the way, by Promtep Cape, near that lighthouse, I don't know if you'll get to see it on camera, but there's this gorgeous Buddhist shrine with an altar surrounded by brass elephant statues. Sounds amazing.
Have you ever had a chance to go and pay your respects to places like that
Not
yet?
yet.
No?
In addition to completely spoiling me today and making sure I got to the right place at the right time, I am expecting some tourist duties from you later.
Well, all right. Okay, well, take advantage of it there, Don. Not a problem at all.
All right. Endurance racing is what you're going to be watching this afternoon. I did want to mention this is one of the longest offshore racing events that we get the opportunity to see. We are going to be following IJSBA rules throughout the weekend.
And once again, this is the very first offshore in Thailand. So we're going to see this spectacular event as it unfolds here today. Today is the first day. Once again, we have a whole 3 days of action.
Yeah, and just talking about some of the logistics that these guys are going to be dealing with, not just the riders, but the teams as well. It's a whole different world when you take personal watercraft racing out of fresh water and you put them in salt water. And one of the things that they're going to have to be dealing with is making sure that they are flushing these engines after every race. Not necessarily easy to do on a small island like this, but they've got to make sure that every night they're flushing those engines and making sure that they're getting enough. Actually, we used to do WD-40. So just to try to keep them from rusting out and having problems with the boat.
Well, if you compare it to cooking, right, you can, when you cook, you always got to clean.
No.
Right? You know what I mean?
That's
So
very
it's
true.
the same thing, when you have after every competition or every race, you want to make sure your engine is cleaned out.
Yeah, so let's talk also a little bit about the refueling because that's going to be a critical spot. So you do that first lap. First lap's going to be the 60 kilometers as we talked about. As you come back into this Laguna Beach area and Bang Tao Beach, of course, the very start, when you come back in, they've got what they call hot pits.
Hot pit.
Yep. And they go directly back to their specific hot pit. Then they're going to pull the watercraft out of the water up onto the beach. then they're going to put a bib around that fueling area where the gas tank is. Make sure they don't spill any gas. Huge deduction. 50-point deduction if you spill any gas at all. It's a big deal.
Well, because it's the environment. You got to make
Absolutely.
sure, you take care of the environment. Make sure, none of that fuel gets into that water. Because this water here is practically pristine right now. After the COVID situation, after all the waters around this area is very beautiful. I mean, clear.
Yeah, it was great. I want to go diving. I know I don't have time for that, but I wish.
Well, you know what? I think you will.
Oh, there you go. So anyway, talking a little bit about the refueling, they will allow up to 6 of the team members down there to help them get the boats out of the water. And then the one thing that they were pretty emphatic on is that the rider really wasn't allowed to help with the refueling or help with any of the engine work. They've got their teams down there to handle that. So the rider's responsibility during that 5 minutes, for you and I, it's not going to seem that long. But for them, it's going to feel like an eternity because they can't go back on the water before that 5-minute time.
Yeah, so basically, they get the little 5-minute break.
Well, they do, but again, you're in race mode.
Yeah, your race mode, I mean, it's going to seem, for the rider, I think it's going to seem just...
Yep. I don't know. I think the opposite. I think for them, they're going to feel the pressure really building on them. So that's that opportunity to really watch these professional riders. Once you get to the open classes, one of the racers you definitely want to watch, he's really, truly the king of endurance, and that's John Bruno Pastorello.
A lot of different countries, representative from different countries are here, aren't they?
Yeah, we've got some great countries here this weekend. Cambodia making a drop here from the Flamingo team.
Is it Mustan? Is it Mustan?
No, Mustan's not actually going to be racing this weekend. He's mostly a stand-up rider, but we're going to have Falun Sali and Vanciden K is also going to be on the water this weekend. And, of course, Kylie Omers is going to be riding in the women's class for Flamingo.
Oh, okay. Kylie's here. All right.
Yeah, as you know, very famous young lady. Kylie's great. It's just funny, in the riders' meeting yesterday, they talked about not having the riders really do any of the mechanical work in case something was going on or refueling.
Well, she knows what she's doing. Come on now.
She does.
Now, she is one of those, ladies that know what she's doing under the engines. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, she's super famous for that, actually, not just as a great racer, but as a mechanic as well.
Yep.
So her hand went right in the air. She was like, "Are you sure a rider can't do any work? What if we know what's wrong?"
Well, I think she can save a lot of time doing it herself, right?
Yeah, so funny. By the way, we talked a little bit about the race fuel. Torco, VP Racing Fuel, and FNL Fuel all would be the types of fuel that you're able to use. They're going to be very specific about testing the fuels, and they're going to be very exacting about that as well.
All right. Let's see if we can find some information on where the first category is at right now.
Probably back in staging, I think. I'm not sure on our time, but I do believe they were going to start around 10 o'clock for the stock class. So we're going to be giving you some filler until we get up to that point.
All right. Okay, well.
Good feedback, right? Let's come back to Phuket, because you've actually been here 3 times at least.
Yes, I've been here a few.
All
a few, of course.
So you tell me some of your cool facts for Phuket, and I'll tell you what I found on Google.
Well, let me tell you something about Phuket. Other than the beautiful beach and stuff like that, if you've never been here before, I really recommend you doing what you call island hopping.
Okay, tell me more.
So basically, you can come here and what you do is it's like an island hopping tour. You pay for the service. You get in about maybe a 40-foot boat with other people, and they'll take you to different islands, and they give you opportunity maybe 15 to 20 minutes. And you go down and snorkel.
Oh my gosh!
With the with the fishes and the reefs and stuff
Yum.
like that. So and it's been closed for a while, so due to the situation. But I think it's open back up now. But it's more but this time I've heard it's more restricted because they want to keep it very, very pristine now.
Oh my gosh!
Because
I guess did you notice a difference?
Oh yes.
Oh
yes. It looks a lot better from before because before all we got millions and millions of tourists coming through here, you know what I mean? And of course, with tourists and all the other people, of course, things happen and
true.
But now since for 2 or 3 years, things cleaned up like nature took back.
I think that's really, really important.
That's right.
Talking about that, I was trying to look up some of the numbers on it, but you were one of the highest tourist areas here in Phuket of all of Thailand over the years, so I could see how that did have a major impact.
Yes.
So again, Phuket is where we are stationed for this weekend. This officially became the province of Thailand in 1933. Heavily impacted by that huge tsunami in December 26th in 2004. But in 2019, Phuket began preparing their application to have the Phuket Old Town designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and I do believe that went through.
Did you go there yet?
I have not.
No?
No, I
You
gotta
should
go.
stop by. You should stop by and just, see, but it's really nice.
I will. Now, I heard there was this huge Buddha shrine as well, one of the largest Buddhas in Thailand. Am I hearing that right?
Yes. It's one of the biggest ones.
I know. Where is that?
If it's not too far from here, from where we're at, but I think it's about maybe 10 kilometers from Laguna Beach Resort right here.
Okay.
So it's not that far, really.
All right.
But
so
you go check it out.
as a
when you have time.
local, as a local,
Yeah, it's a local.
what beach would you go to? Number one beach for locals.
I'm not really that of a local, I'm from Bangkok, but the thing.
You're a lot more local than I am.
But what I've seen all the beaches here, I think all of them are very, very nice. You can't go wrong with any particular beach because they're all very, very, like I told you earlier, pristine beaches here. So I mean, the best bet you can do is just like I told you to go on the island hopping tour thing, and you get a chance to see what the different locations are around Phuket, because you will see a lot of different. I mean, not all islands are the same. All right, because sometimes people think what islands are the same. Some islands have caves. They take you through caves. And yes, they do have that.
Oh, I
so that's
so
why
want to go now.
that's why I recommend you to go check it out, and you will get your best experience of your life.
Oh, I honestly can't wait.
I mean, I've known people. They come to Thailand many times, and they just continue island hopping. They just 2-3 times. They still do the same thing because it's so beautiful. You get to take the different pictures and things like that. Back home, and it's a good memory.
Hey, I want to take a moment here and say a special thank you to Laguna Phuket for being one of our largest sponsors and a great sponsor for us this weekend. Thank you so much to Laguna Phuket.
And the hotels are very, very nice.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I know personally right now I'm very luxurious for me.
Yeah, I'm spoiled. I got to tell you. Well, it's interesting to me. If you're a foodie, again, I don't mean to overtalk the tourism thing, but so many people have asked me about this trip that I feel like there's a tremendous amount of interest in this country, and particularly in Phuket. And I have to say, one of the things that they had asked me about was the food over here. And it was, to me, incredible to see. Not so much the different kinds of food, but that all of it, if you're a foodie, all of it is amazing. It doesn't matter the restaurant you go to.
Because it's fresh.
Maybe that is the trick.
Especially the seafood.
Oh, yeah.
Don't want to miss that. I'll tell you that right now.
So actually, one of my friends was talking about the tiger prawns that they had last night.
You didn't get any? You didn't get any?
No, not yet. No, not yet. Now I'm going to have to try it, though, after talking to them.
You know why? You know why you didn't get a chance to eat some last night?
Because they wouldn't let me. You guessed it, actually.
Oh, we're on board there.
All right, here's an opportunity for you to see what this is going to be like, the 60 kilometers out. By the way, the riders have been notified that they are not going to be allowed to have a visor on those helmets, nor are they going to have GoPro on the helmets. One of the reasons for that, safety. But you can see, even this morning, these waves are already starting to kick up. We're looking at about 84 degrees as far as weather, and then when you look at the waves, we're looking at about 0.1 meters, Nick.
Well, that means the wake is pretty high out there. Got to be very careful. Now, as you spoke earlier, Don, is for safety reasons also. When it's the higher the wake, the higher the waves, the more dangerous it gets.
Yeah, it looks to me like we are watching one of the safety boats as they are doing a demonstration for us and just giving us an opportunity to take a look at this course.
The safety board, when they do the safety checks and stuff like that, sometimes I think, we should be out there doing the safety checks with them,
I got a feeling they would not think that was very safe. sort of counterproductive for the course marshals. But that would be awesome. I haven't talked them into it yet. Let me know if you talk them into
maybe
it.
We can just sit in the back and just maybe talk while we're in the back of the jet ski.
That's a very good point. Starting procedure, by the way, they're going to actually start with a green flag plus an air horn. So green flag is how that start procedure is going to go. They're going to have a air horn. They're not actually allowed to leave until they hear that air horn. The green flag is just going to indicate race is ready to start.
Okay. All right.
It's going to be a Le Mans start, by the way. You're familiar with those.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's going to be a Le Mans start, so they're going to be running down the beach to the boat. They will have holders in the water holding the boats, getting them ready to go, and that is your approach to the first buoy, and as you can see, those guys are big.
Now, is this the, do we have, is that buoy
Yeah, it's
number
actually
10?
got the numbers on the side. That's
Yeah.
buoy number 1 that you're taking a
one?
look at. Yeah, so that's going to be Kamala Beach, actually, if you're following along. So that waterfront property, by the way, just to the right of the camera, that's Kamala Beach. All right, Kamala Beach is a little bit quieter of the different beaches. Popular spot for retirees and long-term visitors of Phuket. That's what you just got through watching on the screen. We're back down here at the pit area. And as you can see, some of the rider numbers down there, those pits were huge. And one of the safety boats following along as the riders are out. So what you're watching here is the Sea-Doo Challenge. This is actually the recreation riders that we were talking about earlier.
All right, we're watching the Sea-Doo Challenge right now, right there on the water.
Okay, we are back. As we were just talking to you, this is the Sea-Doo Challenge. Now, this is not going to be for the big grand prize or any of the money. I believe these guys are just out here for love of the sport.
Most of them are local riders, right? Correctly on this
Yes.
category.
Yep, some of them past racers, but mostly activists and people that just love jet ski riding. So this could be you, actually, if you came over. So we talked about that. We could have put you on a boat today.
When going with these guys here?
Yeah, you
With
could
this
have.
category? I want to go with the pros.
I want to just go on the boat. I don't know if I want to even be on the ski.
I want to feel like when we ride with the pros.
All right, so getting a chance. Wow, this
Look
would
at the
truly
view.
be a
See
bucket
that?
list.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at that view.
Just thinking that as we were taking a look.
I mean, you can also rent out a jet ski while you're here.
Oh, I did not know
yeah,
that.
you can ride jet ski and check it out just like these guys are doing, but in a slower manner. You don't wanna
Really?
go
You
too
think
fast.
I'm going to go slower? I don't know anybody actually in my immediate close friends group that is one of the slow tourist type riders.
Really?
No, even the people that don't
Well,
race are
how,
all
how are
insane.
you going to check out the view if you're riding so fast?
Well, you go really fast and then you stop to look at the view, and then you go really fast again. That's how you live life. Words of wisdom. See a beautiful sailboat off to the left.
All right, now let's see if we can find out which buoy they're approaching next. Now, once again, it's 60 kilometers per lap. A total of 60. So it's 30 up, 30 down, and then redo it again.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WGP WATERJET Offshore World Championship 2023. Today is the first day of our amazing event organized by Ministry of Tourism and Sports, Sports Authority of Thailand, National Sports Development Fund, and Amazing Thailand, Tourism Authority of Thailand as well. So right now, as you can see on the screen, as you watch here, this is the Sea-Doo Challenge. Actually, we start from 9 a.m. And next, ladies and gentlemen, and next you will see the WGP 3 Roundabout Rolling Stock Sea. Consists of so many riders from Thailand, Australia, and Cambodia as well. Please don't miss any of our activity that will be on
All right.
at the show and the competition.
Once again, you're watching the challenge category going around one lap around the entire island of Phuket.
Yep, by the way, Phuket is said to have the most visitors per square mile. Wait for it.
You know what? I didn't even know that.
Spent over $14 billion in Phuket. This is just the tourist in 2019. That accounts for 90% of the money spent on the island from outside the island.
Well, that's why they're very strict on on the environment here, and making sure that when tourists comes to this island, they're being well taken care of safety wise, not just the race wise. When tourists come here, they're more or less very safe. They feel safe.
Phuket, by the way, famous for its golden and white sand beaches, and the water that you're looking at, that's actually the Andaman Sea. So Phuket's completely surrounded by that. That, of course, is part of the Indian Ocean. That is the waterway that we're going to be having the privilege of racing on this weekend.
I think the Andaman Sea is more. I think it's called. If I remember correctly, it's like the Gulf of Siam.
Oh, thank you.
That's
Okay.
what it is.
Perfect. Phuket, by the way, Phuket City is the capital of Phuket, also known for Old Town Sino-Portuguese architecture. Got a chance to see that as we were coming in yesterday from the airport.
Well, okay, all right.
All right, so the boat has just stopped again as we continue with that Sea-Doo Challenge. Now, this is going to be the only race that you're going to be watching this weekend that will not be following the exact course that the rest of the endurance classes will be doing. They are not racing for money. This is truly just fun for these true PWC lovers that live in Phuket. They're going to be going around the entire island. Yeah, but it's just one lap. Yeah, by the way, IJSBA rules, they are not allowed, these guys probably can, but they are not allowed to put in an extra fuel tank. They also have to, because they're running under IJSBA rules, you can use, let's say you want to use a different manufacturer's fuel tank, you're allowed to do that, but you are not allowed to modify to an extra fuel tank. So one of the things, as always, a consideration in endurance is you must manage your resources. That includes your fuel consumption.
Well, of course, that's very important, though. You know what I mean?
It's critical.
Because think about it. If you make just one crucial mistake, that can cost you the race.
Yeah, well, and let's talk about getting that kind of a penalty. John Bruno Pastorello last year in Poland actually ran out of gas on that final lap, and several of the other riders did as well, costing him that first place position. Still won the overall, but did not come in very happy, as you can imagine, on that moto.
Yeah, well, because that's very, very bad mishap. I mean, when you're prepared, for the entire year for that, and then suddenly you didn't make it in because of mismanage of the fuel consumption.
Right. Yeah. No. It is truly critical. The other thing that they've got to manage is their resources as well. So a ton of training goes into that. Caught an opportunity to talk to Kakashi yesterday, one of the Japanese riders, and one of his secret weapons, which I think is fascinating, is he does a tremendous number of push-ups. And Nick, when you think about it, one of the things that really wears out on these guys quick in racing is forearm pump, right? They start to cramp up on their forearms and their upper body.
Because you have to always grip in your grip. Your grip is always tight.
Oh, yeah. So you got to be able to stay relaxed but still be on point with that. So a tremendous amount of training, and also mental training. This isn't just a physical sport. It's mental training as well. These guys are truly out in open water, and so they've got to be thinking about how to take care of themselves, making sure that they're on course and in the right direction as well.
Well, these guys, they're year-round. You know what I mean? They work out year-round. You really have to be in top physical condition. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't understand it. This sport is
somebody sitting on a jet ski, particularly the runabout versus stand-up. That looks physical. That looks like supercross or motocross, right? But the runabouts are just as intense and just as physical, and I guess maybe comparing it in some way to snowmobile racing, NASCAR, if you will. It is a full body workout because they have to maintain balance.
Yep.
They also have to maintain a high rate of speed, of course, but they have to be rider aware, right? So they've got to be prepared to fend off their position, right, from other racers, and they've got to be aware where the other racers are.
I've noticed a lot of riders, you use, they really use just about every, like you said, every part of their body. I mean, their legs, you have to shift, as you turn between buoys and things like that. And I've seen it. I mean, I have tried for fun, on these jet skis. It didn't take me no more than 15 minutes, and I got to get off because it is tiring. And then, and that's not the worst of it. If you're not used to it, I mean, it's like when you go out and go to your fitness and things like that. Now, this thing's, once you're out there for 15 minutes riding, I guarantee you're going to get a whole body workout, and you're going to still feel the pain the next day.
Yeah, you most certainly are. Again, we're on the IJSVA point system, 400 points for first place. It's going to be 380 points for second, 368 for third, and 360 for fourth, just kind of working your way down. But in addition to that is all of those opportunities for deduction. We talked about some of them, but one of the biggest mistakes that these riders cannot make. So I told you about that tracker system. They get that tracking system right before the race.
Yes.
They must return that back to tech. Guess what the point deduction is if you don't?
Oh,
It's
that's
ugly.
a good one. Now, that's a good one. That's, but I know it's not 10 points though.
No,
I'll tell you that.
You multiply that quite a bit. It's 100-point deduction if you fail to return that tracking system after each race.
Oh well.
Yeah, it's ugly.
Yeah,
That'll be the biggie.
You know what? They want to make sure that you don't take that stuff home. That's why.
Yep, that'll be the one where they're talking in their helmet, right?
Yep.
And on the
Yep.
plane,
Yep.
and to all their friends. So again, the opportunities here for deductions abound. Don't want to miss a buoy. Get points deducted for that. Even as much as the riders meeting yesterday, if you didn't show up for the original riders meeting, it was 15-point deduction for that. Oh, there's your shot down there at Bangtao Beach. That's actually our start position here at Laguna. This is a whole community. I didn't realize how big this was. This whole area is massive.
Oh, this the area that we're in right now.
Yeah.
It's what do you call it? You can call it resort.
Yep.
But it's a huge one.
Oh man, it is.
You know,
it is
it's like
gorgeous.
it's like an entire complex of hotels here.
And I've already seen a ton of coffee spots. Again, we kind of talked a little bit about the different areas. If you are a foodie or love to eat at great restaurants, this is one of the cooler areas. I'm going to just switch over to the live stream a little bit because we've had a ton of people jumping on the live stream. We have not started, I'm just going to answer a couple of questions. We have not started the stock C class. This is still the Sea-Doo challenge that you're watching live on the stream.
Okay.
And Chayin Yung Kitty from K18 Water Sports, let's do it. We had some shout outs for some of our racers already, Nick. Also cheering on boat number 142, that's Kasadit Tira Pratip, and he is going to be coming up in the stock class.
Oh, all right. Well, you know what?
Did I say it right? I was just waiting for you to correct my time.
No. I'm not. No. What I was thinking, when the live chats here, some of these people that's on the live chat, they're just waiting to see what's going on, and then when they see it, they want to join.
Oh, of course.
You know?
This is most of the fun in a lot of ways that we get to have over this. As I watch this live stream and we talk to these guys because they really get into it. So thank you so much, by the way, for joining us on the live stream. Please be sure and tell your friends about it. And of course, we will be posting every day on the Thai Series Facebook page, so you can get that link right there.
All righty.
All right, by the way, the Sea-Doo Challenge still happening. Sea-Doo was reintroduced in 1988 as its own brand under Bombardier, if you will. Bombardiers are kind of, if you will, USA version of it, but Bombardier, a French-Canadian company. So just talking a little bit about that. And again, that challenge is for the whole island. In 2016, Sea-Doo had a 45.8% share of the entire personal watercraft market. God, man, that is huge.
ขอประชาสัมพันธ์นะคะสำหรับนักแข่งค่ะในรุ่นของ WGP Roundabout Robotics Stock 4 ซึ่งจะเริ่มอีกสักครู่ค่ะเรียนเชิญนักแข่งทุกท่านนะคะมาติดต่อเจ้าหน้าที่ค่ะเพื่อรับอุปกรณ์เซฟตี้ค่ะที่ด้านหน้าเวทีขออนุญาตประกาศ GPS นะคะแล้วก็เซฟตี้ด้วยขออนุญาตประกาศรายชื่อเลยนะคะคุณกฤษณีคำม่วงคุณกฤษณีคำม่วงค่ะคุณชัชวานถนอม
All right, we're once the
คุณณฤนาถปัตไทยสงฆ์
Yep, this is going to be our.
ณฤนาถปัตไทยสงฆ์
No, so this is the Sea-Doo Challenge that we're watching right now. Yeah, and then what's going to be coming up is our stock divisions for our first day of racing. This first class is going to be the runabout novice stock C class. Yeah.
well, we got a few riders here from Thailand. We got Australia and Cambodia involved in the next category, the runabout novice stock C.
Yep, and some big teams out here this weekend. That team from FKT Concrete, they are definitely going to be a tough one. And on that team, I've talked about it, Sambat Nimpong and Kasadit Tira Praptep, and he is also very, very fast. So those riders are going to be definitely ones to watch. And then the Cambodian riders we talked about earlier, Van Kay and Philin Sali. Matt Daly from Australia.
Yep.
So again, we've had quite a few people that have been chiming in on the live stream. And again, we're not quite started yet with stock divisions. We're still watching that Sea-Doo Challenge or the Bombardier Challenge.
You know the teams to keep an eye on is Team Flamingo, Don.
Oh man.
Team Flamingo, they got some beast riding on, for their team.
You know, they have a legend in that group, and what a backstory on that. Chowlit Kujarun, not just a legend in Thailand either. I mean, he came over to the United States. In fact, there were several big Thai teams that came over to the United States, and I think that was our first wake-up call, if you will, to how powerful this sport was globally, right? Because again, I think we all do that. We sort of live in our own ecosystem. So in the U.S., we had a lot of regional racing.
That's because the U.S. is it's a big thing over there.
Oh, sure,
You know what I
it
mean?
is. Yeah, we started back in the early 1980s, even the late 70s. We had a little boat that first rolled out, brought to you by Kawasaki. That was the 300 stand-up, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, you remember all this. But anyway, some huge sponsorship and of course television coverage as well, but it truly started out as just a bunch of guys that they got a little bored surfing, right? So they wanted to do something different. So we got a bunch of football, and I'm not kidding, right? Football helmets and tennis sneakers. They were racing in Converses on these little stand-ups. And in fact, you'd love this. I know you are quite a fun guy to hang out with. So they would ride across the country in vans. These little vans or station wagons or whatever they could get, right? Stuff the boats in the back of these vehicles. And then they have 3 or 4 of their buddies in there. And we're probably not supposed to talk about this, but I'll share it with our friends here on the live stream. But they would have bottle rocket fights going down the highway. And this is how crazy this group really is. You can see why it's so addicting.
Well, I remember bottle rockets back in the day.
Oh, my goodness.
I do remember those.
Tell me you were having bottle rocket fights.
Yes,
Why do I feel like
did
that
that
happened?
before.
So I'm not telling you anything new. I can see that. Oh, that is too funny. Oh, my gosh. All right. So, again, the live stream guys, we appreciate you hanging out with us. That is PED down there on the screen that you're watching. And what they are showing you right now on screen is, in addition to the life jackets, if the riders go off, they also have an additional life jacket that they can inflate, and that will actually make sure that they stay above water. Yep, it's just an additional safety feature. And then you also saw one of the riders pick up that orange package. That is the actual tracking system, the GPS system they'll be using. And Sambat team down there and FKT teams as well. Yeah, as far as where the Sea-Doo Challenge is, I'm not sure. Again, they were doing the entire island, so we weren't able to track them quite as easily. And for those guys that are asking us about the schedule today, our incredible production crew is going to be posting the schedule for you in just a moment.
We're going to get a chance to see what's the time frame of the event and the races in just a second.
And as you can see, all right, this is your live streaming schedule. You're watching the one that's blinking. That's going to be your first race of the day. That's starting here in just a bit. Runabout in a non-aspirated stock class, and then the runabout plus 300 horsepower stock.
As you can see, the women runabout on Sunday, and then you have the runabout open A also on Sunday for the final day.
Yeah, that runabout limited tomorrow, Saturday's class, and runabout open B tomorrow as well. That's got some really incredible riders in it too.
Now, if you take a look at the far right, this is the time. We start at exactly 9 a.m. for the first category. This is the Stock C. And then at 1 o'clock, 1300, we continue with a runabout, 300 HP Stock C. And, of course, the same for Saturday and Sunday.
And Siren actually cheering on boat number 14, and also the sponsors for it as well. Group Jet Sport on the live stream cheering out. And Adapon Kunsa is cheering on for Sambat Tira Rapratip.
What? They have number 18. Let's see. I don't even know what number 18 is yet, but we have a lot of cheering sections for number 18.
And again, you are in the tech tent as they get these different riders set up with these additional life jackets on top of. Now, they're going to have their own life jacket, and then they have an additional one as well. So safety has been one of the most important and number one factors in the race this weekend. And even in preparation, preparing for this race, Drake and the entire team worked on this for months and months and months to make sure that all of the logistics were right, and they have an entire crew out here to include the safety crew. I think that was a part of the Thai Cup for years, right?
Yes, it is. And the thing is, another thing that I want to express a while ago of the environment. That's very, very important. Remember you told us about how they have to come in at the pit.
Yes, sir.
And to refuel, and they have to put a bib on. And that's very important, once again, to emphasize that, because they don't want any fuel leaking into the water.
Well, and we believe in it too, right? So our entire sport has been focusing on, if you will, being as green as possible, moving to the 4 strokes in a completely enclosed system, and that as a huge addition in our sport, I think has been a big move for us.
So we'll have to see, how things go out and how things will run this very first competition here, or the event right here in Phuket.
Yep, and again, special thanks to all our sponsors. You can see the sponsors being lined up down there on the left-hand side of the screen, and a huge shout-out to them as well. We appreciate all that you've done. We're here live in Phuket, the largest island in Thailand. 210 miles in circumference, or 543 kilometers.
You think that's far enough?
It's perfectly big for my purposes. 'Cause I'm going to try really hard to see it the short time that I'm here.
There is the live feed there for you.
I do believe they have made that turn, so they're going to start making their way back. And shout-outs, by the way, Asid from Thailand. And Siren, shout out to you as well. And Adapon, thank you so much for chiming in on that live screen. Gu Khan, cheer for number 18. Boy, you're right. A lot of them are giving the shouts for number 18 boat. All right, Unama Bell Dali, number 14 from the CRC group and Jet Sport. Also doing a shout out. That is Dulek on the screen, by the way. We were just seeing a little bit earlier getting fitted.
This category, as you're watching on the screen here, there's a total of 8 crafts out there for this one. Hopefully they all 8 finish.
Good point. No points on the line. Again, just doing it for love of the sport, right? So they're
Of
not
course,
actually...
but you want them all to come in and finish. Because I've seen this category, or the endurance category here. I mean, when you start, usually you start very nicely, and then, you know, somewhere in the long run,
Yes.
you know, you're gonna make some mistakes and run out of gas sometimes, and things like that happen, and you don't finish the race. You know?
Let's talk about that a little bit. It's not that you don't make mistakes in racing. Of course, that's part of it. The true champions, in my opinion, is the ability to minimize. They want to minimize any of the mistakes. So even as little as going off of course by 1 or 2 feet, all of those things factor into your overall time. So these guys are very aware of where they are out on that track at all times, right? They're tracking through their GPSs as well. They're making sure that they're watching the shoreline. They're watching for the next base or buoy. By the way, those buoys are massive. You do not want to tap into the side of that like closed course racers have a tendency to do.
Well, Don, you know what I noticed, you know, in the endurance category, things like that. I mean, it's not really good sometimes to be in the lead all the time. You know what I mean? You really have to pace yourself. What I've noticed in the past, because I've seen, you know, guys, you know, when you take off right at the gate, you're in the lead. You stay in the lead, but then at the end, right before the maybe 5-10 minutes left in the race, you're not finishing the race.
Well, that's the fuel. The fuel we talked about. That's part of it. You can't just go diving out there full throttle and then duking it out in 3rd and 4th and working your way through the lap traffic, because if you do that, you're burning those resources. You've got to manage your own line, right? So in closed course racing, they don't think about it as much.
No, you do not. But in you know, in motorsports, you really have to think about that.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't want to you know, put your, what do you say, your pedal to the metal so fast. You know, you got to let it off a little bit. You know, like you, when you're driving out on the road, you know, if you keep it at 80 or 90 kilometers, you know, of course you're gonna, you know, don't consume as much as going 120 kilometers an hour.
Right.
Am I correct?
Yeah, and it's the full throttle, no throttle, full throttle, no throttle thing that's going to kill you. So just maintaining throttle control, I think, is going to be critical. Now, I will say it is a one-stop shop here, though. So those 2 laps that's your only race. So in a lot of when we were watching the series last year, a lot of the series, what we were watching is they were having multiple motos, and those motos were 45, 50 minutes, right? And this is a monster. 2 hours is what we're going to be doing on each one of these races approximately, right? And then, Nick, after that, it's done. I mean, it's one and done. So that second lap, in my opinion, is going to be the more critical one. I think your start, obviously, right, very critical.
Of course, yes.
And then the refueling and how you get back out on the water, also critical. But really being able to work the throttle, get back in or get as close to the lead as possible, that second lap is going to be all for the money.
That's right. I mean,
and, you know, actually, let's talk a little bit about the money. For Class C, it's first place, 240,000 baht.
all right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after these messages.
Official partner, Sport Authority of Thailand.
National Sport Development Funds. WaterJet competition over a distance of 120 kilometers. One World Challenge. The rider from which nation will win this World Championship? WGP Offshore World Championship 2023. 16th to 19th March at Laguna, Phuket. With so much more to enjoy in the race. Supported by Ministry of Tourism and Sports, Sport Authority of Thailand, National Sport Development Fund. Welcome to Thailand. Thai Airways International.
All right, folks, we're back live once again here, right here at Laguna Beach in Phuket.
You're watching the WGP1 WaterJet Offshore World Championship, and we are getting ready for our first big race of the day. You're going to be watching Runabout Novice Stock C, and they are going to be putting the riders up, so you get the opportunity to watch the competitors this afternoon as we get ready to go.
Well done. A total of 12 riders in the Runabout Novice Stock C category. Of course, you got the Yamahas and what else you got there? You got Yamaha and the SD?
Yeah, well, the big one, I think, is going to be, if you're not on a Kawasaki on this one, you're going to be battling. Just between the handling and the way that those boats have been out there, Kawasaki is going to be one of the big competitors today.
Now, if I'm looking at my list here, who do you think is our top 3 in the Runabout Novice Stock C category?
Well, it's going to be hard to say, but definitely want to watch Casadi.
Oh, we have a little update real quick.
Updates happening as we get ready to go.
That's right. Oh, we have a change a little bit. It's the next up is the Runabout 300 HP Stock C.
Oh, that's going to be our second race for today.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually, that's going to be our first one. Oh, I take that back. All right, so we're going first with the Runabout 300 horsepower. And well, good thing we didn't talk about our top riders in that one.
All right, let us confirm it just a second here.
Okay.
Before we get into it, because that Runabout 300 HP have a lot of international riders in here, so let's double check.
You're just watching that pit area down on the beach, and then you can see the different hot stops. That's going to be the hot pit area. And when those guys come back in and refueling, you can see those little segments down there. That's where they're going to have to come in. Each one of the teams has been designated one of those areas after drawing balls. And they actually did have to draw for the starting line as well. Pretty typical start line procedure as we get ready.
และวันนี้เราได้รับเกียรติค่ะจากผู้ใหญ่นะคะทางการกีฬาแห่งประเทศไทยค่ะที่ให้เกียรติมาร่วมปล่อยตัวไรเดอร์ค่ะใน WGP Runabout Novice Stock.
All right, Don. As I stated earlier, what are our top 3 in the Runabout Novice C category?
Well, you get some really great riders here. The riders from Cambodia are going to be a threat. I just really am going to be wanting to watch Kasadi Tirarapratip. I think he is going to be a very fast one. He is got the the second to the last spot on the outside portion. Your pole position, and that's always going to give you an advantage. That's what Gina Sri Rami. Did I say that wrong? Sri Rami.
Yes.
Okay.
That's okay.
And he's actually, thank you, he's actually going to be riding for FKT Concrete. I think that's going to be one of the teams to watch. And he's got a great starting position. It looks like boat number 182 right next to him. That's Krisani Kumyong.
Chrisidit, yes.
Chrisidit.
Well, you know what I'm looking at? I'm looking at mainly right now. I don't know why, but I'm looking at Team Flamingo's Vasadin K and Philin Sali.
Both going to be great riders.
Yeah, my eyes are on those two right now.
Yeah, both of them are very good. Matt Daly also in this mix. Matt on the number 14 boat. Actually, he might have had a boat number change. No, he's right in the middle. He's fourth in.
Yeah, 4.
And again, they're still fitting out these riders with these extra life jackets. And again, all of their equipment was checked by tech. Helmets were checked. All of their equipment was checked, and even the boats were checked very carefully before they let any of the riders on the water.
Now, the reason why, I stated earlier about Team Flamingo, because that whole entire team, they live on the sea. They practice on the sea, you know what I mean? And they just stay there. That's why, they're based out of Pattaya.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
they are
and they're
incredible.
always out there practicing.
Well, and if you take a look at the history of that, they're the ones that brought Cambodia into the racing scene. They had some local racing in there, but the big racing was actually started because of Flamingo Racing, and that rider was Omat Salih.
Yes.
Of course, Mustin Min, also a part of that incredible team. Chow, who was like really one of their top riders ever. Chowlik Kujarun, of course, he is globally famous, and Omut with multiple championships. And these riders were also at the Asian Games as well and made a big splash.
Well, right now they moved on to the veterans category now. Those guys.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to tell him you said that. All right, Sampan Woongpong riding for FKT Concrete. As I mentioned, I think this FKT Concrete team's going to be a threat. These guys have got some good riders. They've got 4 riders actually on the line today. Can't disregard this JS Racing team as well. That's Chat Chuan Tong.
Well, they're coming strong. The Super Jets, the Super Jet guys.
Yep.
Yeah, they're coming up. They're coming up.
And Somchai Tan Om Tong. Now you've watched these guys on the regional races as well.
Oh yes, yes.
So and I've been just suspecting that this is one of those teams that is growing.
They are growing.
All right.
Quick too.
G-Force Power Sports Pattaya is also represented this weekend.
Yep, another team that's coming up strong.
All right.
You see them a lot.
Niranart Patasong is actually representing for them today.
Yep. And you know what I noticed though, Dawn, ever since you've been coming to Thailand a lot, you're getting a lot better with these names.
Am I really? Oh,
yes,
you just made me want to hug you. Dinner's on me tonight. Thanks for saying that. You have no idea. So here's how funny it is. They've actually been sending me Siri, who is just amazing. Siri's actually been sending me pronunciations, and then I've been working on those for months.
No wonder. You're surprising me now, lady.
Oh, you are too kind. All right, you guys, again, 12 riders out here, and they, just like you're normally going to see, they actually had to draw to see where they were going to be on the line. You can actually see down here that 182. That is the hot pits that we've been referencing. So 182 is going to have to come in between those 2 little barricades, bring their boat up on the water for refueling, and they got to stay in that area
until
for that 5
minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So the refueling portion after that first lap is going to be really, really critical. I know you've heard us talking about this before, but again, they're going to be doing 60 kilometers each way. And just a bunch of chatter on that live stream. Let's check in with the live stream right now. Terry Lemon is here. Hey, Terry, all the way from New Zealand. It's great to have you, sir. No, we're not going to be watching the 300 horsepower. Forgive me for that one. It is going to be Runabout Novice Stock C, as we talked about earlier. So Runabout Novice Stock C is going to be our first race today. And the total amount of award prize money, if you will, is 465,000 baht. But for those of you chiming in from other parts of the world, that equates to about $13.5 thousand in U.S. dollars.
That's not bad for a one-day work.
Yeah, it does not suck. Excuse my language. As we say in America. Top riders might be Voroskov, the 2 Russian champions as well. When we get to that 300 horsepower, that's going to be 2 riders to watch. But right now we're watching the Runabout Novice Stock C as they get ready to go. And again, we were also double-checking that because for a moment there they talked about a class change, but they did stay true to the schedule.
But you know what, Don? I mean, I've noticed some of these guys, it's not about the money.
No.
You know what I mean? These pro guys, it's not about
ego.
the money. Yeah, that's what it is.
Don't you think? Like, even the money
it's
to me.
Rights.
Yeah.
I think it's
Perfect.
bragging rights. You know what I mean?
Well, it is. And also, when we talk about it, not so much prize money, although it is amazing because that actually will pay for the boat and pay for getting over here. But to your point, I think it even more important. These guys race with their peers, and they race around the world with them year over year.
Yes.
So you really do build
camaraderie.
You do. You build an ambassadorship and a camaraderie. And I think what, to me, is some of the biggest beauty of this is the emotion. Like, you've seen it. You've been right there with us, right?
Yes.
Nick, it is heartbreaking sometimes. Not so much if they lose a race, but if they break. Or if they have some kind of big rider error and you do a dismount. We've all done, believe me. But you do a dismount or something happens to you. Those are the true emotional moments. And, man, you really are on the boat with them. You really feel that. And
Exactly.
I think that's the love.
Because I mean, we're not on the water, but the thing is, we get to know all the riders.
Yeah.
You know, when you get to, you know, when they come by, say hello, and as the years go by, you build a relationship. And then when you see them on the water, and then things happen, you say, oh my Lord, you know what I mean? And you feel for them out in the water. You feel for them.
Well, you're a part of their journey, and I one of the reasons that I think you and I love to do this so much is that we help bridge that for you. We want to make sure that you know who these riders are, and you get, as we just talked about, the teams. Being a part of these big teams and growing, because these teams typically, they've been in this sport for a while, so they really are bringing on young riders, and they are teaching them not just about the sport, but all of these things that translate to true life skills as well.
Exactly. And all right, and there are the riders there. That's number 785. 785.
Chachuan. Tan Ontang from Thailand, riding for the Superjet and JS Racing team.
And that's number 4. The next guy right there is number 14. Don, that's
Matt Daly, actually, out of
Australia.
Australia. Yeah, he rides for CRC Group, Jet Sport, Pedro Jet Ski team. And just working our way down.
And it looks like that's 150, I think.
I think so. That's Narinart Patinsong, riding for Thailand in the G-Force Power Sports Pattaya team.
ร่วมเชียร์ไปพร้อมๆกันค่ะนี่คือส่วนหนึ่งของไรเดอร์ของเราค่ะที่จะเข้าสู่การแข่งขัน
Of course, we got number 15 right next to him. And that is Tirat from Thailand.
Yep, then boat number 786, Somchai Tanum Tong from Thailand, riding for Superjet and JS Racing team.
Then we have number 19.
Yeah,
Don.
Siramak Pong from Thailand.
Right next door is number, is that 33?
Yep.
That's from Cambodia.
Yep.
Once again, that's Team Flamingo there.
Philin
Philin
Sali.
Sali.
Rides for Flamingo Jet Ski team in Chonburi. And again, great to have the Cambodian team, and that team continues to grow.
And then 888, that is Sombat from Thailand, riding for FKT Concrete.
Yep, right next to him, boat number 142. We've been talking about this rider, Kasadit Tira Proptip from Thailand, riding for FKT Concrete.
And we're going to round off the top 12 riders there with Vistadin K from Cambodia, riding for Team Flamingo. Those are your guys there for the Runabout Novice Stock C category for the WaterJet Offshore World Championship right here in Phuket 2023.
Kia JR34 saying hello Phuket, doing a shout out for the riders. Wampin Pod Thai Song, a shout out for G-Force 150. That's the Niranaut rider that he's doing a shout out for. And they are getting ready. We talked about it, but right now we've got them getting ready for the Le Mans start. Tanya Yang Ui Awana shouting out for G-Force. I probably said that one. That one was a tougher one. You might have to correct my pronunciation on that one.
Oh, I'm not even going to mess with that one either. What are you trying to do to me? Oh, there goes your riders right there.
Oh,
The faces.
perfect. Thank you so much, you guys. Here is your rider board. You can take a look at each one of the competitors out here. And
There's Matt Daly. That's what he looks like from Australia.
yeah,
Yeah.
Matt. And the boat number 182, Krisani Kuomwan. One of the ladies that's going to be competing in this division, and that is so exciting, by the way. You do not have to limit genders. Yep.
Gender.
Do not have to be gender limited here in racing, although we do have a women's class, a separate women's runabout open class that'll be coming up this weekend as well. So 12 competitors will be joining us on the line in just a few minutes. I'm very impressed with how serious Somchai looks in this profile shot. This boy looks like he's ready to rumble. What, Johnny on boat number 787, Sira Renit, and a bunch of Thai representation in this first class from the Nauskaks.
All right, let's back to live action right there on the water as we get ready to let them go here for the Runabout Novice Stock C category.
Now, they are going to limit that entrance area. So, again, we're referring to this as the hot pits. So, this isn't not actually the true pit area. You can see the tents just to the right part of that screen. Those tents go down at least, I don't know, almost 2 kilometers. There's a large number of tents down here for each of the different teams and the riders. But these hot pits, that's where the action's going to be during the race.
When we start the race, all the riders have to be placed in the back of the hot pit.
Yep, doing a Le Mans start, run into the boat.
Okay.
Yep, and you can see that they have holders out on the boat just to keep the boat straight.
Okay.
So they're holders. For those of you joining us on the live stream, let's talk a little bit about the function and critical component called the holder. And the first thing that those guys have to make sure that they do is keep that boat
steady.
Yep, they keep the boat steady. Keep the boat ready for them, and then as they're getting on the boat, you'll notice the holders are stabilizing it, but they're also moving their position, and then of course they've got to deal with surf all at the same time. Perfect that the wave came in, so you can kind of see.
Each team have 2 holders on each side?
Correct. Well, they'll have 2 holders, 1 on each side, and as you can see that surf come in, it just kind of shows you.
It's pretty strong today.
It is, isn't it? These are big. I mean, they're coming in individually. Those are pretty long sets.
And you know, you have to time it just right, too, you know?
Oh, man.
Because if you run in there as the wave comes in, it's going to slow you down.
Yeah. For those of you racing close course, you know what I'm talking about, even on surf.
They have to know how to read that wave.
Yeah. And unfortunately, you can't exactly pre-jump it, so we would kind of set up a pre-hop on the stand-up so you could kind of get your nose up over the wave. You could do it, too, I suppose, with the runabouts. I'm sure these guys do, but kind of pre-hopping or setting it up so that you don't stuff that nose underneath the wave as it's coming in, because I don't know how strong you think you are, but even Superman probably could not hold on to that if you super sub. All right, so the holder not only holds the boat straight, it is also a requirement for them to be counselors and psychologists as well. Sometimes coaches. Sometimes they act like your mom, which is important.
They're telling you what to do.
Exactly. No, there's actually not a line. It is going to be a Le Mans start, but there is no rubber band start. Great question. T-Proc Prim. That actually looks like you gave me your phone number. I'm just kidding. He's cheering on for the different riders, but it looked like a phone number.
That's a 1-800 number, yeah.
It did. Look like see, it wasn't just me. It's actually 888 that he's cheering on. That's Sambat, and also cheering on Samchai on boat number 786.
Is that all the same team member?
Yeah.
I think it's coming from team
Superjet?
FKT Concrete.
Oh, is it?
Right? 888.
Oh,
right?
no, let's see. 888 is FKT Country, but then he's not one team. Then he goes 785,
right,
yeah.
for Superjet.
And JS Racing Team. So he's not one team.
Okay, he's all over the place.
Sort of like us. All right, thank you guys so much for giving us the feedback on the live stream. We really do like it. We appreciate
Don, you
your
didn't see that huge wave come in.
Was it massive?
Oh, it was really big one, that one.
Well, they talked about 0.1 meters this morning, but as we got to the afternoon, the winds were supposed to increase. As the temperatures rise, winds are going to increase, and of course the waves are going to get a little bit bigger. Let's talk about the air horn. Well, these guys look excited for this air horn. So we're going to have a green flag, and then they are not allowed to go until the horn
sounds, right?
Yep. So I think the green flag is the indicator to start running, and then the horn is you can actually fire the boat and go.
All right, here we go. Just a few seconds here. We're going to let them go here for the Run of a Novice Stock C category.
I see we've got some representation from our sponsors. Special thanks to the Sports Authority Thailand. Looks like our officials up there that have the horns are representing for that. Also, Tourism Authority of Thailand, another one of our great sponsors this weekend. And Laguna, Phuket, big sponsor for us. And they look just as excited as we are to get this race going. We're just about to kick off with our inaugural start, very first race of the WGP WATERJET Offshore World Championship.
2, 1,
Okay, now that indicates the green flag, that countdown that you can hear from our great live announcer. And then the air horn. And you can hear the boats firing up.
That's right. Here we go. There they go.
Good start. Let's talk a little bit about that, yeah.
Do you think it could be a jump start?
No, I don't think so. I think that they are very careful about that. I don't think it was a jump. I just think that rider did a really great job getting out of the hole. That would have been either 785 or 150, Chat Chuan or Naranart from G-Force Power Sports with a great start.
All right, we are off for the Runabout Nova Stock C. Official now. It is official.
Yeah, as they say, it is on. So in the stock class, let's talk about the IJSBA rules for that. Very few modifications allowed on this stock division. And no aftermarket hulls like we are allowed to do in some of the other divisions. And minimum horsepower as well. It's all going to be stock horsepower as well. All right, we are going to have an onboard camera, which is really exciting. Thank you so much to our TV crew for that. Boat number, which one is it?
It's 785. That is Chachawan. Riding for SuperJet will have a onboard camera.
So we're actually going to get some great shots of what it's going to be like to be on the water on a boat during one of these competitions. So again, you're watching the stock boats first. This is going to be strictly stock, except where the rules allow or require substitutions or modification. So when I talk stock, that means original equipment. You can have updated parts or backdated original equipment added to the machine. But other than that, just think everything is not going to be aftermarket bolt-on like you're going to get to watch in some of the other divisions.
So
Nick.
basically, when it comes off the showroom, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, you could literally, really good point. You could literally go grab a Kawasaki or a Yamaha. You could put some of the handling modifications. So, Nick, that would be things like intake grate. You could do a little bit to the pump. You could do some to the ride plate in the back. You could change handlebars. But that's really it. You cannot switch out top deck or bottom deck. By the way, these boats split in half. So when I say top deck or bottom deck, if you're just listening in, when you get to these open divisions, they may have a different top deck from a different type of boat, or they may have a fully aftermarket bottom deck.
You know what? You know what it sounds like, Don?
What?
It sounds like that. Once after we do all this here, right? You can really become a mechanic down here. You can really get that stuff done.
That is not a good idea for anybody. I would be very poor very early on. I'll tell you who you could hire as a mechanic, and that girl is a little rocket ship as well. That's Kylie Elmers.
Yeah. That's right. I mean, she's I hear she's like one of the top mechanics.
She is.
You know what I mean?
You know, the aftermarket seats, we can actually talk about that a little bit. Because these boats go so fast, they actually had to create an aftermarket seat with a higher back support because you hit the throttle, the hit was so hard, people couldn't ride on the regular seats. They were just getting yanked right off the back of the boat. She was a part of the build on that, on the aftermarket seats.
Oh, impressive.
Yeah, pretty cool lady. I'll tell you somebody else that's really impressive, and she comes from your side of the world, sir, and you're going to get to watch her this weekend, and that is Aura Fan.
Oh, Aura
That
Fan,
girl,
okay, yep.
Fan is a legend. Truly, also a mechanic. She also does some of the work on her boat.
Aura Fan.
Yeah, Aura Fan is something else. All right, this is the GoTech 7 technology you're getting a chance to watch. And we're already getting to see some of the riders as they move out in a big cluster right in the group. It looks like 29, just a little bit off, but 142, I believe.
Well, but I know I can see right now number 19 is way in the back right now.
Yeah.
Siramok from Thailand.
Yeah, number 19, Siramok with a little tough start. I'm looking, this one's
29?
a little off course, yeah.
Number 29, a little bit off on the right there, far off. On the right, if you can see there on the map.
Yep, 142, as we had talked about, is going to be one to watch, and that is a gentleman that I had mentioned earlier, Kasadit Tira Prateep from Thailand and FKT Concrete. There is your offshore hunt. Get a chance to look at these guys. We got multiple cameras watching the riders today. And let's tell you a little bit about Kasadeep. 21 years old, first learned to ride a jet ski. He was only 7 and started competing at 12. His parents introduced him to the sport. By the way, guess what his nickname is? You probably know.
I don't remember sometimes.
Oh, you're a good man. Kasadeep's nickname is Champ.
Champ.
And for a reason. Gentleman's got multiple titles and a great rider. Kasadeep up there in that lead pack. And he's got some company as well. I love the fact that Mr. Louis Oliver from GoTech 7 is really helping us with this GPS.
There's your top group. Am I correct there on 1, 2, 3, and 4?
So it looked like 142 who started on the outside portion in the lineup. Again, they had to draw ping pong balls for their start. But Kasadeep with a good start. Good run.
And once again, I mean, you can't count just yet because it's just the beginning of the race. Things can happen.
Yeah, it did look Vancidin and Matt Daly were up in that group. Vancidin K out of Cambodia and Matt Daly on boat number 14.
I'm not going to count out number 19 just yet.
Okay.
I'm not going to count him out. I think I think it's his strategy, holding off, in the back for now, see how other guys are doing, and I think he'll make a move. He's going to make a move.
Well, you've got 2 full laps here to do,
Yeah.
60 kilometers on each run.
It's grueling, I'm telling you. It's very, very hard.
All right, so 14 now up in that lead group. 14 and 142 are your top riders. Kasadeep's 142 and Matt Daly out of Australia with the lead. Well, was with the lead. Look how close they are. They're actually bouncing back and forth.
See, now this, I mean, if from our standpoint, looking at going head to head like that, I mean, it looks good on the thing. But the thing is, in reality, if you keep doing that, sometimes, I mean, if you put like you said earlier, too much on the throttle back and forth, I mean, you know what I mean?
No, I think you're onto something there. Again, you've got to manage throttle control. Vancidin K.
I mean, I know number 14. I know Matt. He's what do you call it? He's pacing the whole entire group, but in the long run, we have to see if he can finish it.
Well, it certainly can. Matt Daly, by the way, the gentleman out of Australia, lives in the Gold Coast in Queensland. Also spends a little time in Bangkok, Thailand. He's only 34 years old, loves all types of sports. Said the one thing he doesn't like is cold weather, and I'm right there with you, Matt. All right, Philin Salih from Cambodia, only 20 years fast. Race number 33 for Philin Salih. Loves soccer. A little bit of extra
Well, usually that's
fun tips on him.
Usually in Thailand,
Soccer.
or Southeast Asia,
Okay.
it's just if you're not in our water, you're playing soccer.
Fine.
Well, we call it football here, by the way.
Anthony Radatek, that's who you saw live on screen from the U.S., one of our great riders out of the USA, along with Christian DeAugustine. Christian, who had to take some additional time off due to that thing that shall not be mentioned that was sort of globally called COVID. So he wasn't able to race for a little while, but Christian DeAugustine back. Great to see him on the track on Sunday. Okay, back to what's happening on the screen. 142, the rider we have been talking about, Kasadeep Tira Prateep, riding for FKT Concrete.
Moved up in the lead now.
Yeah, him and Matt are going to go back and forth. I could just...
You see what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Back and forth, you see? Now, if that... You know how hard it is to finish the entire race like that in this endurance category?
You're watching one of our race directors upper left part of the screen. That's Simon Ricks along with Louis. Louis Oliver actually is the gentleman managing all of this. Yeah, and boat number 30.
Did he move up there?
Oh, no, 33 is back. Philin Salih in fourth. Again, Kasadeep Tira Prateep and Philin Salih right in that group on the 28 boat. So your top three, Casadit, followed by Matt Daly and Falin Sali from Cambodia, your top three, and then your shot here of the different teams. And you can see these guys from FKT Concrete very happy right now. That is her team manager. And the team manager in that big, that I was talking about, that big race area earlier.
Yes.
Yep, they want to be watching that live screen, but they're also there for safety reasons as well. So there will be a representative from each team in that area throughout each race. It's our stage as well, if you will, the stage where the concerts are going to be. And you can see the GPS. That also, one of the things that they do is talk about how fast these riders are going, 78 kilometers per hour. And then the second rider is at 63 kilometers per hour. All right, and Matt Daly, same thing. He's going 65 kilometers per hour. His fastest was at 76. And this is a live update. So what's nice about this bounce from the satellites, if you will, these are true live updates. All right, again, Matt Daly and Casadit. Tira Prateep riding for FKT Concrete, and Matt Daly, your Australian rider for CRC Group Jet Sport, Pataroo Jet Ski Team. And as we had mentioned earlier, that is going to be one of those things where they're pushing out hard. The big question is, will they be able to maintain that high speed without running out of gas?
All right, that's the, what's it in K? Number 12. But your top three riders are number 28, 142, and number 14. That should be...
All right, you're watching the action here on the GoTech 7. This is our GPS live tracking system that we had been talking about. This thing updates automatically, and it has been a super effective system for us throughout the years. Vonsadid K, by the way, out of Pattaya, Thailand, the gentleman right up there in that group. He's lived there for the past 5 years, 23 years old. He's actually an assistant mechanic on the Flamingo team, and he's aboard a Yamaha FX. He rides for Flamingo Racing, Knopf, United States, Gypsum, and that's the gentleman that I talked about that you're giving me a hard time about that loves soccer. Also, he's a world champion. There's Vonsadid K's update.
See, Don, when you're in this part of the country, you have to say football.
Oh, is it really? It's all football?
Yes, it's football.
Okay, so soccer, a.k.a. football.
It's football.
Okay, fine. I surrender. You're watching the action right here for the WGP WaterJet Offshore World Championship. This class is the Runabout Novice Stock C, and we are on lap number 1.
Now look at that overview shot there. Very beautiful clear water there.
Man, that is just stunning. That cobalt color. And I know we're getting a good visual here with the production team. Thank you so much for all your great camera work. But it is indescribable to walk out on these very fine sandy beaches and enjoy this view.
I mean, earlier on today, when we got a chance to, step on the beach early this morning, I mean, what do you think about the sands? The sands are very soft, right?
It is so soft, Nick. Unlike anything in the United States, when you step on it, it is so fine. It has that little creaky, cool sound when you, it's like Oh, it's just a beautiful. It's
I mean,
a beautiful feeling.
The feeling. So I mean, you even took your phone and threw it in the sand today, didn't you?
Okay, we're not going to talk about the fact that within the first 5 minutes of our broadcast, I lost my cell phone.
All right, let's throw that out a little bit, right?
Yeah, I appreciate that. As the gooberness continues. All right, my good buddy here, Nick, and I joining you on one of the coolest opportunities as we kick off what I think is going to be a spectacular 23 racing season. This is the first time that we've had an offshore endurance race of this caliber in Phuket. And thank you again so much, Laguna, Phuket, and of course all of the officials. You talked a little bit about the governor. Is that true? That was really helping us get here as well.
Yes, very.
Very important to have all of this backing and all this help. All right, so again, talking about where these guys are located, we're approaching Karen Beach in Phuket. It's one of the longest beaches on this island, spanning 5 kilometers, not quite as big as Laguna, Phuket. That white sand overlooking the Andaman Sea. Karen Beach enjoys excellent conditions for windsurfing in Phuket. And speaking of windsurfing, that's what these guys are doing, except with engines right now. You're watching the race leaders, Matt Daly, Philin Sali, Vincent K, and of course, boat number 442, Kasadit Tira Prateep from Thailand, sponsored by FKT Concrete. And those two riders have been putting on quite a show, and you're getting a chance to watch them. That's the long view. Well,
later on in a few minutes, we're going to get an opportunity to walk around, Don, and just, to get a feeling of the race area, and, just to talk to different people here, how they think about the competition and things like that, and see how fun they're having.
Oh, I can't wait. We'll get an opportunity not only just to interact with all of the fun people that are watching on the live stream, but we're going to be right here live on the action at Laguna Beach and interviewing some of the cool people hanging with us. I can't wait.
See what kind of people we can mess with later on today.
All right. See, you're just trouble. That's what you are. Special thanks to another great sponsor, Coca-Cola. And this is our top 5. Matt Daly, Kasadit Tara Prateep. We would talk a bit. Oh, wow. We've got 2 Cambodian riders in the top 5. Vansadin K and Philin Sali. The Flamingo team's got to be going nuts down there. And Sam Chai rounding out your top 5. Oops. I'm just going to write that down again really quick. But again, Matt Daly, current race leader.
Look at that beautiful shot of the race venue out there. As you see the main island on the left side.
Again, your top riders, Matt Daly and Kasadit Tira Prateep. That actually is how the start happened as well. Kasadit was lined up. He was not the gentleman that was on the pole position. He was in just a little bit. 142 was actually towards the outside on the start. And I think that actually helped him being on the outside, not having to deal with any of the traffic. That gave him an opportunity for a great start. And when you look down at the starting line lineup, Vincent K was also on the outside. And we've talked about that position quite a bit. And that gentleman is up there in the hunt as well.
Well, Matt had a good start, but he was on the 4th, overall starting on the line.
Yeah.
So I mean, right now he's up in the lead. So hopefully he can keep holding on to it.
Had some great riders out of Australia over the years. You can see the teams down there have got a perfect description, just chewing on the nails as they watch this, as these riders come through. And again, they have to go through or past 5 major beaches to include Kirom Beach, and then the Promtep Cape actually is that final number 10 buoy where they'll be doing the turnaround. You're also watching Nulek from CRC Jetsport Padru. Right now we're near Kata Beach. The waves are forecasted there, 0.9 meter in the morning, 0.5 in the afternoon. And then they're going to get big overnight, 0.8 and higher. And long sets. So the sets for the waves are, you can actually see that on the start too. The sets are pretty far apart. And big waves and a big wind expected along Kata Beach.
And as you can see on the right side there on the mainland, the different destinations as they go by.
Oh, yeah, including the big Buddha to Phuket that you
There
were
you
talking
go.
about.
There you go.
Major tourist site that I'm supposed to see before I leave. Don't know if I'll be able to get that, but hopefully. Again, Matt Daly in the battle here along with Kasadit Tirapratip. All right, we're going to take a walk
Yeah, we're
and
gonna take a walk and see.
go
what
interview.
That's right. Let's do it.
Oh, I can't wait. All right. Thank you so much.
All right, folks. All right, Don.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about where we are right now. This is one of the major stage areas. You can see some of the riders from the other divisions. They're actually up watching on this huge live screen as the guys from GoTech 7 bringing us all of this action. Now, part of that is that each, as we talked about on the live stream, each one of the team managers must be represented here as well. That is a part of the extra safety that we are making sure, but also it's an opportunity for the team managers to communicate live in case there's anything that's going on with the rider.
Well, basically, it's like the command center.
Yes.
The HQ. Right here, this is where we're at.
Well
right?
said. Like NORAD. Just that awesome.
Well, you want to take a look and maybe ask some questions around and maybe see what they're feeling?
Yeah, I'd actually love to do that. We probably ought to start, see if we could get a just saying hi to two of the big race directors that we've got
Yeah,
here
he's right
this
here.
weekend. Peter DeSmit along with Simon Ricks. And Peter DeSmit actually is a very talented endurance rider, which he probably doesn't want me to tell you too much about, but he was quite the competitor in his day.
Got a lot of secrets, right?
Yep. So, Peter, if you had one of the top secrets for how to be competitive in offshore endurance, what would you say?
Well, of course, for a lot of people, it's new endurance racing in this country, especially the international riders. So they do not know the sea, that they do not know the weather conditions, of course. So it's very important to make a good calculation what kind of machine you're using and how much energy your body is going to use. Like I see the actual race at this moment in the normally aspirated class, I can see that one lap will take like around 1 hour racing. So it's going to be a very long race, including the refueling. It will be over 2 hours racing that the riders need to take care of themselves. Of course, the machines need to stay out there. But it looks like they all have on a good pace, a good speed. But the second lap, I guess this speed will come down a little bit. And we are so grateful we have this kind of system, which is a nice show for the whole world. But rule number one, safety for the riders. If something happens, we are with them, with all the marshals, straight away with them. We can pick them out of the sea. We can assist them. We bring them to the shores, and that's my main concern.
So in the off-season, Peter, what do you think is the most important thing with training?
Riders need to be fit, and you need to, especially here, there's a lot of humidity. It's very hot, of course, in Thailand, here in Phuket. So riders need to work on that during the whole season to hydrate themselves very well, and to even do that during the race, because I still see a lot of riders leaving from the beach and they do not have a camelback or something, and you never know what happens. You never know how long you stay in the sea. This is the most important thing. Hydrating is the most important thing, apart from being in a good physical condition.
Thank you so much. Peter DeSmit, by the way, our race director, premier, one of the race directors from around the world. Thank you so much, sir. All right, we're going to him get back and focus, because these guys have to watch the riders. They are looking for several different factors when they're out on the course. They want to make sure that they're not acquiring any penalties, so they want to focus on that.
Yep.
And again, back to safety, they want to make sure that all of the riders are being accounted for live. So the great thing about the system, Nick, we talked about that. If any of them go below the minimums, the GPS will actually start blinking, and the race directors are very aware. They'll start watching those
So
riders.
like I said, safety is very important here.
Yes, sir.
Very important. And you know who I see right now?
Who else?
We were just, you know, talking. You see who's that sitting over there?
Oh, you're gonna
that?
go there.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm going over there.
Let's take a travel.
See, because we were talking about her, right? So we really gotta talk to her.
You know, it's funny. As soon as you said that, she knows who you're coming for.
She stood up right away. She said, "Oh, it's me. It's me."
She's no stranger to this. Kylie Elmers, how the heck are you?
Very good, thank you.
All right, so we've been bragging about you. I don't even know if you knew that, but we were talking about you on the live stream. And one of the things we were talking about is the fact that not only are you a legend on the boat, but you are also a legend underneath the boat working on it. Tell us how you got to be such a great mechanic.
I had to. I come from down under, and there's not much there. So if you wanted to do well at what you do, you had to learn. And I guess it's something you adapt to what you do. So yeah, away I went.
So when did you first get fired up about doing fiberglass work and welding too?
I did my apprenticeship as a coach builder. I built buses, motorhomes, things like that. So I covered all that off as I did my apprenticeship. Back then, I was one of the very few females that actually worked in a male-oriented trade. So yeah, I started from there, and then it was a fairly easy transition over to personal watercraft.
So,
All right, go ahead.
If we need a little home, then we can ask Kylie, right?
Anytime.
We,
Sure, you can. Maybe I can answer.
All right, one final, well, I have a ton of questions always, but one question I think is on everybody's mind. When you're a woman and you're racing in all of these premier classes, to include racing for the guys, to you, what is most important about rider prep?
Rider prep is training, hydration, as Peter said, your diet, also mental. You have to be mentally fit as well as physically fit. The mental side of it is quite a bit. Keeping your focus, especially on a race like this, because these guys out here, I went out on the practice track the other day, they've got a lot of sideways waves coming at them, so they cannot at any stage afford to lose focus. It's not just an easy ride out there, so they're watching 100% of the time, and you'll find through the race they will wear down mentally, and their minds will start to drift, and that's when problems can arise.
So you've had the ability, or you had the chance, to get on the track. Describe this course for us.
It's an interesting course. You think it's just a big circle, yet it's very rough. When you're going up, all the waves are coming in on your left-hand side, and when you're coming back, they're all coming from the right-hand side. So you're constantly moving the bars a little bit, adjusting, moving your body weight, and getting right behind it.
Now, I know you're an awesome racer, but did you get distracted? Because let's face it, it is gorgeous out there.
Oh, it's fantastic, but I was busy watching the landscape and looking at how many bays is where and where you are at, trying to work out the distance in my head.
Now, see, that's why you and I don't race,
Yeah.
because we would have been distracted.
well, one last question, Kylie. How come you're not racing today? I've seen you race many years. You know that, right? How come you're not racing today?
I have both my races on Sunday, and today I'm supporting my team, Flamingo Racing Team with Canal, the Cambodians, and so we're behind them and we're getting ready for the SEA game, so we're helping the team.
Oh, see, she's prepared. You see that?
Well, yes, and
See
also it's a stock boat, and she likes to hit the throttle and go over the speed limit way too much.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Kylie. Thank you.
You're awesome, girl. Appreciate your time. All right, that was Kylie Elmers. All right, who
All
else
right,
can we harass today? I think we ought to talk to one of the team managers. Should we talk to Samjet or Sambat?
Let's see. Let's
do
do
you-
it. Let's go to FKT.
All right, let's
here.
go hit FKT then. Over here with the managers for Kasadit, Tira Pratep, and Kasadit Gumong. How are you guys doing today?
I'm good. We're good. We're good.
Are you nervous? Because I noticed a little nail chewing.
Obviously we are nervous, of course. But we think like our team have prepared everything that we're ready. Yeah.
How long did it take you guys to get over here, and how many people to prep for this?
for today, right?
Yes, ma'am.
We have our team is around 20 people,
Wow.
so we need to prepare and be ready for everything. Our technician and stuff like that.
How many months to get ready for a race like this?
3 to 5 months to prepare for the jet ski, and then practice. Rider need to practice a lot on that.
And how do you find these great riders?
Pardon?
How do you find all these great riders?
Basically, the great rider is my mom and my brother. They are my family anyway, so I think they're great anyway. Yeah.
So it's a family business.
I like the way she
Of
thinks.
course, it's family business, but yeah, kind of like that.
Outstanding. Well, good luck. I know you guys are nervous. We won't bug you a bunch because I know you're focused, but thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You good luck. All right, just hanging out with some of the team here as we watch HQ, as Nick calls it.
Yeah. Well, you know, right here is number 14's station, Matt Daly.
Hey,
how are you?
Good, thank you.
Oh man, it's great to see you guys. I have to tell you, it's funny because I know we're watching the interviews, but a part of you's got to be like, put the race back on the screen because I want to know where my guys are.
Yeah, actually I'd love that to come back on, but I'm fairly confident we've got the right rider and the right team.
Tell me a little bit more about Matt. I know this guy is very quick, but what fun facts do I need to know?
Look, Matt is a previous champion in other sports, but his passion is jet skiing. And so we run a business in Australia and in Thailand, but he's been a champion runner, triathlete, different sports, but he's got a killer in him. If he's out the front, no one's going past.
Yeah,
that means he's got a lot of endurance. That's the key.
Endurance, yeah.
Yeah, all that training, I'm sure.
Huge, yeah.
Plus, we talked a little bit with Kylie. I'm sure you heard that, and she mentioned the mental aspect of this, and if he's done that many other sports, he's got it.
He has that already. He doesn't need any training for that.
All right, and I'm sure you're a little bit nervous, though.
I am a little bit, but I'm fairly confident as well.
All right, awesome. I like to hear it. Thank you so much for talking with us.
All right, let's get back to the race.
All right, we got to go back. Get these guys up on the screen. Thank you so much for listening.
All right, if you're just joining us, we welcome to the WaterJet Offshore World Championship right here in Phuket 2023.
Okay, I got updates when you're ready. Go ahead.
All right. Well, right now we're at the with the runabout Nova Stock C category.
Yes, so quick update. Boat number 785 was having problems. He was up in that third place spot. Chaturan Namutang from Thailand, one of the Superjet and JS Racing Team riders. He is back aboard the boat. He'd actually gone off the boat. Back aboard the boat. Everything's great, and he's starting to catch back up. But he did have a problem. That was one of your top group. And they have made the turn. They have actually made the turn around Promtep Cape and coming back. So taking a look down, that is 142, the rider that we've been talking about all morning, Kasadit Tirapratip from Thailand, sponsored by FKT Concrete and that team we interviewed just a moment ago. But he's got company.
Followed by there's Matt Daly from Australia.
Yeah, Matt Daly, the gentleman, also got to hang out with his family. It's actually his dad we talked to. And as he had said, this is a gentleman that has cross-trained for years, Matt Daly, with an incredible amount of endurance and a whole lot of go. And that showed up on a screen almost immediately, Nick, between him and Kasadit. That was quite the battle off the start.
Well, right now, the only thing he has to worry about is how to manage the fuel consumption. That's the main thing.
Yep. Vancident K in that grouping as well, back in third. And a great run for Vancident out of Cambodia, riding for Flamingo Jet Ski Racing Team. Also rides for Knauf USA Gibson. And as you can see on the stream, we get the opportunity to watch these riders. Now, I've mentioned it before, but if those riders go under a certain minimum speed, that's how we noticed that that 785 boat was having problems. Somchai, wasn't Somchai, it was Chawan Tamnutong, who was having some boat issues, and that GPS started to blink, and that was their first indication something was happening.
That's a great thing for the warning, you know what I mean?
Oh, man, it's just so helpful, I think, for the ground crews, and because we're in contact constantly with the water crews, being able to hand this live is a massive deal for us. You can see the Russian rockets in the house as they go on the live stream, and all the team managers lined up here very quietly watching the action. All right, Kasadit still holding off the Australian rider, Matt Daly. And we are now working our way back in towards Bangkok Beach, or Laguna. Laguna Beach is where we are.
That's right, those are your top three, 142, 14, and 28.
Yeah, Kasadit Tirapratip, Matt Daly, and Vancident K.
Just passing the Freedom Beach area.
75 kilometers an hour, and then back up to 77. What's fun is you can actually watch the breakdown here of throttle control. So we went from 75, 77, back up to 79, then 82. All of that is going to be having to deal with those waves and the cross waves that Kylie was telling us about.
And like you said earlier, when if something happens, if they slow down, a while ago we saw it was like 47, right? 47 kilometers. That's when the light starts.
I'm not sure what the exact minimum is. That's a really good question. I will find that out for you. But they do have it marked, so if they stay below that minimum for a certain number of seconds.
Reminds me of the movie Speed.
Oh, right. Yeah. Except the bombs go off.
No.
That's the good news. All right, you're watching our first race. This is it's going to be all about the stock boats today. And then we'll be moving to limited tomorrow, and then we'll bring you the big guns on Sunday.
Sunday, yeah. And later on today, we're going to have the Runabout 300 HP Stock C. That's later on.
There's Anthony Radatek. Guy's hanging out on the screen. All right, so this is going to be the second leg of the first lap. I am going to be very interested to watch that first fuel stop. So 5 minutes is going to feel like an eternity to the rider, but probably going to be like slick lightning for the crew.
Yes, they hit into that hot pit of yours, right?
Oh, yeah. All right, again, Vancident K, you can see back on the 28 boat, the young rider out of Cambodia. He's an assistant mechanic on the Flamingo jet ski racing team. Normally races boat number 12. He was a world champion in 2022 in novice ski stock in closed course racing. And this is the gentleman that you said loves soccer, a.k.a. football.
Football, yes.
I'm gonna stick with soccer because I keep following the notes here. You're going to have to correct me every time. It's all good.
We don't know football, soccer here.
Well, apparently not.
Averaging about 75 right now?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's for Vanson. What's great about this is on the GPS system, you can actually see the satellite, how it's just updating every second. So this is truly a live tracking versus some of those slower bounce rates that we were getting. This is a truly in the moment. You can even see heading north, altitude.
You can even see the reef.
Yep. Oh, wow. Yeah, you can. Oh, that's
See,
wicked.
that's a reef.
I can even see we're at 91% battery, just in case you needed to know. Okay, then I'm sorry, that was so bad.
I don't know. What?
Easily distracted today. You're also getting some land reference over here on the right, coming back towards Kata Beach. Karn Sun Toran from the live stream saying, worth it, let's keep fighting. And it looks like most of the riders now have gone past Promtep Cape. That's the southernmost tip of Phuket Island. Lam in Thai actually means cape, so it's Lam Promtep. If you look for, oh, is it Lam? You say it. Thank you, sir. So Lam Promtep is how you would see that indicated if you were looking on Google Maps. Oh, how beautiful. Promtep means best view in Thai. Is that right? Promtep? Does that translate to best view? I'm asking Nick, my buddy over here, who actually speaks Thai.
Well, I do speak Thai, but, you know, it's not 100%.
Okay, so according to Google, it says best view. So I'm going there until you correct me. All right, your positions once again, 142. That's Kasadit. And that is followed by Matt Daly, and then Vansadid K is third, and then it is boat number 33 in that fourth place spot. That's Philin Salih. So again, Cambodia still in this hunt in the top 5. And then boat number 182 is going to round out the top 5 positions. That's Krisani Kumyong from Thailand, riding for FKT Concrete as well. And Kasani, actually, one of the ladies out in this class.
I want to see when they come into the pit here. I want to see what. Now, Don, as you can see on the right side on the map, you see on the mainland.
Yes.
It tells you exactly every single resort, hotels. You see that?
I can. Wow. This is like a travel junkie's
travel guide.
Best. It is. It's like a travel junkie's best day here is be able to see all of the different areas that you could come and hang out.
Mostly on the beachside resorts.
Yep.
As they pass along.
I'm just looking at my bucket list fulfillment opportunities here. Some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, as Nick was telling you earlier, and there's our long shot view out on the water. Gorgeous cobalt and turquoise waters, but man, wicked waves. You can actually see, watch the bottom of the boat and how those boats are chiming over there, and you can actually see the cross waves that Miss Elmers was referencing for us earlier in that interview.
We didn't get a chance to see the. Did we get a chance to see the on-boat?
Oh, the
camera?
onboard. Yeah, the onboard was 785. Chachuan, actually.
Chachuan has a camera.
I thought we saw some of that footage earlier, but possibly not right now. Right now we're just focusing on the satellite views.
Yeah, he's approaching the 10th buoy as we speak.
All right, there is the map viewing for us, just a little breakout. As we see these riders, most all have taken that turn. So they're on the second leg.
The last person should be 785 taking the final turn.
That was a great demonstration, actually, of just how quick the safety crews are and also how accurate our satellite system was. They were right on top of that boat within seconds of realizing something was going on and the boat had slowed down. So this new technology is really going to be a game changer, I think, for the sport.
And I just noticed something, though. You know, the race has been gone for almost an hour, right?
Yes.
Right. Well, you know, I think the crew did a very great job. Because if you notice, there's no craft, you know, that have a problem that much so far.
Yeah, very impressive.
Great job.
Well, you know, again, talking to the team here for FKT Concrete, I mean, you can imagine the logistics to get 20 people. I mean, I don't care how close you are. That is quite an organizational jump to not just get them out here, but make sure all the boats, all the backup parts that they need, and all that on site, travel arrangements, hotel arrangements. I mean, it is a massive undertaking. So a tremendous amount of prep and huge, to me, huge, I think it's powerful to say, huge acknowledgement to these teams for coming out here and also for being a part of the sport, and especially at this level. And it looks like the different teams start to prep now and get ready to head back to the beach as these guys are coming down.
Heading to the pit.
Yep, they want to get in that hot pit area. The hot pits is where the refueling is going to happen. Boats are only allowed to come in that area. And again, we talked about you're going to have up to 6 riders. They must pull the boat in off the beach up 20, I don't think it's 20 feet.
Well, you're going to get a chance to see in just a few minutes as they come in and refuel and take that break.
All right, just passing Kamala Beach. That is that quiet stretch of sand located around 9.5 kilometers north of Patong in Phuket. It's interesting to see how much shoreline they have. That's true beach shoreline. Also an unusual and.
Well, we're gonna see how Matt. As you can see, Matt, I think he's moving towards the inside a little bit.
Yep.
As guess it did number 142 is a little wide on the left. I think he needs to pull in a little bit. Did he miss?
Casadit, yeah, that is the base that you're indicating. And Matt Daly taking that buoy turn on the left-hand side. You must be on the left-hand side or you will be docked. Penalty points.
Seems like Matt's taking the shortest route towards Laguna.
And then you get the long-distance shots. These are from various points on the island as we watch these riders come through, and they are close.
Those are your top 3 right there.
Mm-hmm. Matt Daly definitely putting some pressure on boat number 142, Casadit, actually, Terra Pratep. And then Matt Daly, and then your third place rider, Vincent K.
Matt Daly's team seemed to be very confident.
Well, and understandably. I mean, the riders out of Australia are pretty awesome. And the number of riders, I got a chance to catch up with Christian D'Agostine a little bit yesterday, and Christian was talking about the fewer number of riders because they really were hurt by COVID. I mean, we all were, right? But they got shut down in Australia extensively. And those teams are just now being rebuilt, so I think it is even a bigger shout out to Matt Daly for being able to be back out here this quick.
And as we're speaking right now, look at number 142, Don.
Oh, man.
Something must be, I mean, he's way out there.
All right, getting a chance to see our first fuel stop as they're bringing them in. I'm taking a look.
That should be Matt.
All right, now as they go past these reds, so you're going to see them go through the checkers. Notice how they're decreasing speed immediately. And that is that zone that we have been talking about. And that is Matt Daly coming in. All right, so Matt had dropped it down. They must be at 30 km or less as they bring it in for this refueling stop. And you'll notice he dropped down. Now, it's not exactly a no-wake zone, but darn near. And we do this for a couple of reasons. You can't just, run your boat up on the beach like you see those jet ski rentals.
Yep.
All right, and then this is the team, and that's the Australian team going up. And the rider has to run to that barricade. So at the Le Mans start and a Le Mans stop, he runs to the barricade, and when he does, the time officially starts. Now, notice this refueling as well. Actually move that boat over so that they can maximize this refueling and also make sure that they don't spill any gas. Any gas goes down on that sand at all, big deduction. And you could see Simon Ricks actually over there overseeing that, making sure that
no gasoline drips.
Yep, no gas leakage, and also they're overseeing any mechanical updates as well. All right, boat number 12 coming in. That's Van Sidian,
Kay from Cambodia.
Yes, sir.
Let's see how his team worked.
Yeah, I'd have to say that Australian team, very efficient. Van runs up. His time is up. Red flag is up. That means the 5 minutes officially starts. Oh, my gosh, and they're physically pushing those out. They're not even putting them on.
Now, you're allowed to have a total of 6, right?
Yeah. I'm up to 6 to help you get out of the water. And then the 142 is shaking his head. Yep, we had some rider difficulties, either mechanical difficulties or something is going
right
on.
now, at least, he has he's coming in to get it checked out. I mean, he's able to finish the first lap.
It's very important. You're watching Kasadit Teraprateep as he comes in and, again, has to race. All of this time counts. Now, why run up there? Because your time is required. You must do that 5 minutes. So they want to get up there to start that clock as quickly as possible.
Then get back in.
Yes, sir. All right, and then here comes number 4, another Cambodian rider. This is Philin Salih.
Both from Team Flamingo.
I'm sure you guys know Omut Salih. This is Omut's half-brother, Philin. Omut, super famous to include a big win at the Asian Games. So this is a chance for them to refuel. And you notice the riders did not refuel. They don't help. They get the team to do that.
That's pretty heavy now.
I'm telling you, you don't get, you can't dolly them out. Like you can't get one of the totes and pull them out. And that's normally what they do. As soon as they get those boats even a little bit, they'll try to get the, oh God, it's like I'm drawing a blank, but it is a tote that they get down on the water and then they put that up on the tote and then they use a four-wheeler to pull it out, but you're not allowed to do that. All right, so opening hood, just airing out that motor right now. And you are watching the refueling for boat number 33, and that is Philin Salih, 4th in. So that's your top 4 in. And let's see what riders come in, but really great for the Flamingo team out of Cambodia. That was fantastic that both riders are in that top 5 in this first leg. And you could see that 1 hour is making a difference. And there is Kasadit just refueling a little bit, trying to catch his breath.
Trying to cool off.
Yeah, it is intense. And there's Matt Daly. Down there with his dad and his team. Matt just checking in. Man, he does look calm, cool, and collected,
Yeah, it
doesn't
doesn't
he?
look like, and it's bother him right now.
You notice the lanyard on his left wrist. For anybody that's maybe not a big part of jet ski racing, that lanyard, critical piece of equipment. That lanyard is the only way that you keep your engine running. You must push that lanyard in, then you start the boat. But if that lanyard comes out, it immediately kills the engine.
That's another safety feature.
It is a safety feature, yes. You'll notice that you can have the lanyard anywhere on your arm. So as you take a look at Vance, he's got that lanyard up above his elbow. Just trying to get it out of the way. Some people don't like it down on their wrists. They don't want to accidentally wrap it around their handlebars.
When they turn, right? When
Yep.
they turn sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or if you just get big waves.
I mean, it's a like I said earlier, it's a safety thing,
It
I
is.
mean, if you fall off the craft, of course the key is going to come right out.
So you can see their life jackets require equipment for every racer, but then that additional inflatable life jacket, or inflatable life portion, like the little life jacket portion, it actually will make sure that their head and neck stays out of the water, just in case they go in the water and they're unconscious.
All right, back in the water, Matt, number 14 from Australia.
That was a fast 5 minutes. Now again, you must enter this red zone at 30 miles an hour, but you also have to exit at 30 miles an hour. And this is a little bit of a problem. This is costing some time for the Flamingo team, getting that boat back out there. And they were able to do it. Good job for Philin Salih and Vincent K as they're moving back out.
Here we go.
All right. That
Basadin.
Yep, Basadin K taken off. So notice that they have to go 30 kilometers or less until they get to the double green buoys on the left side here. And then once they go through that, they're able to get back to the race. And this is part not only safety, but this is also taking care of other riders, that they don't go in too fast, don't go in too hot, but the same going out so they don't collide. And there's the double greens that I was talking about. Little beautiful overhead shot. And there is Casadit.
Overall in third position. Look at that shot.
Isn't that pretty? That's all the pits that we were talking about. This beach is long, 6 kilometers for Laguna Beach. And look how big this pit section is. This thing goes way, way, way down this beach. Tons of room for the different teams to stage, bring backup parts, equipment, extra boats, whatever they need. And there is Philin Salih, and he just got released to go to the boat. Now, you'll notice that once those guys refueled, the teams were actually able to bring the boat back out into the water and get it ready for them, get the sand out of the intake grate, and get that boat prepped, and Philin Salih is off. So good job on those teams. And I'm telling you, it was hard for them to get that boat back in the water. Minimum 600 pounds for these boats.
Well, they're at final 60 more Ks.
All right, so while Kasadit Tira Pratip actually came in fourth, was able to go out, back out, I believe, in third.
Third.
So again, your top riders, the first one back out was Matt Daly out of Australia. Followed by vote number 12, Anson K. Kasadit Tira Pratip was third, and Philin Salih fourth. Yeah, Japanese team, actually. Takashi, oh gosh, there's a ton of top riders from Japan. Isahai, Hajime Isahai will be joining us on Sunday, and man, that guy is a rocket.
Well, later on today, we have In fact, talking about Japanese riders, we have Tadaho Hashashiguchi will be doing the competition for the next category.
It's going to be our 300 HP.
Back to the GPS right there live.
Ooh, okay, so everybody could take a breath at least on the first 4 teams. Still got riders coming in. And there's your shots of the top 4 that are going back out on the track for the second hour. Looks like 150 is coming in right now. That is Narunat Patasong, sponsored by G-Force Power Sports, part of the G-Sport team.
Got a lot of fans out here for number 150.
Oh, yeah. I love that team shirt that they've designed this year. Blue and orange. Beautiful. David Jalugwa saying Bali with you guys. Yeah, we'd go to Bali if you want us to. 142 directions.
I'm going to ask a question like that for.
That's fantastic.
I like that.
Nuan Yanachira cheering on boat number 142. That's coming from the live stream. FKT Concrete's fighting.
All right, if you're just joining us once again, I'd like to welcome you to the WaterJet Offshore World Championship here in Phuket 2023.
Let's talk a little bit about the organization that's happening down there, because while it may look like, craziness from you and I, let's talk about the organization of this pit crew. There is a pit crew chief. The crew chief is ultimately responsible for his or her craft. They're also responsible for the person in charge of that whole hot pit area. And the other team members will actually follow the crew chief. That chief will have to ensure that they have a game plan and that all the team members are informed regarding that pit plan prior to the starts of these races. And if you are curious about how that is all choreographed, they practice these pit starts and stops before they ever get on a site. They are also checking all the gear, making sure the pit gear is in order and easily accessible. And they also test all of that, and they bring up back gear.
Just like the F1s do, that's what the pits.
Yeah.
That's their job.
Exactly. And each one has a role. Just trying to cool them off, making sure they've got water, but also cooling off. This is 150 that you're watching right now. Nart Patasong. Gatorade is generally one of the preferences. Anything that's got electrolytes in it, water, of course. Sometimes, also you have to be aware of any drug testing that's done at each one of these races. But, if any of those are available, like Tylenol or whatever, if that's legal and you're able to do that, then yeah, they'll have that down there as well in case the riders need it. An extra water pack, as Peter was talking about, to have on the rider's outfit. So when they're out there, they have a camelback or something like that, so that they're able to have water throughout the race. And you could see Cassidy noticeably heated coming in. And more shout-outs. Juan Penn doing a shout-out for his rider, 150 on the live stream. Aranut.
I mean, in weather like this and the conditions like that, I mean, it's very good to rehydrate all the time when you're out there.
Yeah, you're getting hot.
Yeah.
You're in a full wetsuit.
I mean, and then you're sitting under an engine, Don. That hull is getting hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I don't think they're directly feeling it because really a lot of the engine's in front of them, right? So, but they're over the seats. Some of the engine's underneath, but it's mainly your exertion. Like I said, you're in a full wetsuit. Those things aren't, the best. And then you've got full gear, life jacket, helmet is on. I meant to ask Kylie about this. In closed course racing, we used to take a little drill and we would put fine little holes in the goggles up on top just to keep us from fogging. I'm sure they use a defogger as well. Do they still do that? Kylie actually turned around to give me feedback. Okay, sure, maybe Rain-X works for you, but I tended to fog up my goggles more than that. Oh, so they take the foam off the inside of the goggles as well. She's the best. All right, more rider tips. Okay, well, we used to do drills. We would just do little bitty holes at the top.
If you're not in the water, you can always put a little smaller fans in there.
Wow. The bougie, bougie racer setup.
I mean, if somebody can figure out a way to put the little fans in there, right, and then have it waterproof, that's a good idea. You know
Nick,
what?
If you ever race, I want to be in your pit crew because I feel like your pit crew would be decked out to include little fans. That is outstanding.
Yeah.
All right, we're just watching boat number. Looks like boat number 15 back out. And that is our onboard on 785. Cho'awan Tano Tong, sponsored by Superjet and JS Racing Team. And there is our onboard camera view.
Gives us a chance to see what the riders are feeling on the water right now, but it's pretty choppy out there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no GoPros are actually allowed on the helmets of the riders and no visors allowed, but you are able to affix on the one we actually had a body camera put on so that we could see the onboard. And you can also put one on the boat if you want, but you weren't allowed to have any GoPros on your helmet.
If you take a look at the wide shot right there, Don, see how lonely you are all by yourself?
How lonely. Well, that makes me want to sing lonesome songs.
That's why
but I'm not going to.
That's why you have to keep up with the with the leading pack, so you don't feel so lonely.
There's like an Elvis song that comes right to mind there. Great drone shot of, Laguna Beach is gorgeous. This whole Laguna area is just outstanding. Look at that white sand. Wow. Waves should be picking up this afternoon for these guys as we get started on this second leg. Just wanting to get a quick look at that rider, 4:0 something. Up 182.
That is Christine.
Christine riding for FKT Concrete. And she runs up. She has to run up and touch the barrier, and then you notice the red flag comes up. So she's got her 5-minute time on.
Let's see if they're going to get a chance to see how tired she is here.
Yeah.
When you take off that helmet, you can tell from the reactions from the rider once it. Oh Lord. Yeah, give props there for coming in. Oh, she looks tired.
Just hot. Yeah, they're definitely fighting some of these heat conditions. I mean, it is super warm out there. 29 centigrade, 84 degrees, what we were expecting to have it get up to today. The thing that's really helping is the breeze, but not giving these guys too much of a break. And I mean, you're going to imagine this is, as we talked about earlier, this is a tremendous amount of endurance. 1 hour on that boat without any breaks is massive.
I mean, even with the 5-minute break, Don. I mean,
yeah, getting some electrolytes in her here.
I mean, I I mean, if it was my, I was on the water like that, 5-minute break, it's just not enough. I need an extra, maybe 30.
Yep. Got our team manager down here all grinning, watching her sis. This is your sister, right? You're watching sis. It's her mom.
It's her mom?
Thank you. It's her mom, actually. Oh, that's so cool.
All right. Well, we wanted to say mom, sister sounds good.
Sister was better. I did good
Sister's
there.
better, yeah. There's 785. Cha-Cha one with the onboard camera.
Yep, again, special thanks to Laguna Beach, one of our great sponsors here at Core Sports Authority of Thailand. You got to see some of the representatives of that on that start, which was really cool. And all of our great sponsors actually listed on that bottom left-hand side of your screen. And be sure, and if you get a chance, to tell them thank you as well, because it is because of them that we're able to put on some incredible events this year. And we are going to have a massive season in 2023, and what a great way to kick this off. Our very first event here in Phuket, Thailand.
Yep, with the WaterJet Offshore World Championship for 2023.
And we are just getting our FKT concrete rider as she finishes up her last few minutes and gets her back out on the track. In the States, I would say that looks like Pedialyte, which we also use quite a bit to rehydrate.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a children's drink to actually help them get electrolytes back in really quick.
When they lose a lot of load.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Looking at this competition, just finishing it is an accomplishment. You know what I mean, Don?
Oh man, this is a huge event. And again, we talked about the logistics of the team, but the logistics on the backside with the crew is massive as well. I mean, if you had a chance to look at that map earlier, and it's online as well, so feel free to check that out. You can see rescue crews on land and on water all the way through that course.
I think they're separated every, 3 or 5 kilometers?
Yeah.
Every 3 or 5
I think
kilometers.
you're right.
Yeah.
So to be able to have that kind of staffing, if you will, and if for whatever reason we do need to bring somebody in, they hold them at one of those big police boats until they're finished with the race, and then they bring them right back into the nearest shoreline. And we also have crew that will bring them in straight from whatever area they come into shore right back down to the race site. So as far as the riders' safety, they are full on being taken care of from the beginning all the way to the end of each race.
Now I'm trying to get I got a shout out to the marshals out there. I mean, you know what I mean? Look at them. They're out there and keeping the race safe. I mean, they're in grueling conditions also.
Yeah, all day. And they get to come in for a fuel stop. They're out there all day. So we are going to be going through this, and then we have a short break, and then we're going right back live. Within that next hour, I believe 1300-ish is when we should be starting that next one, and that is going to be the 300 HP. But again, this is all about the stock race today. And look at Cassini going back to the boat. She is hustling. Good job with the crew there for FKT Concrete. Notice how they are walking her out as she gets that boat started. That's an experienced pit crew move. So they're actually helping her move that boat back out to the water. And they're also helping her get into deeper water before she even got the boat started. All right, so that is Christine Kumyong actually back out on boat number 150. Maintains her speed, 30 kilometers or less. When she goes through the doubles, she's able to go full throttle. And back on track.
I'm very impressed with her, I'll tell you right now.
I am too. Only lady that is actually racing in this first race of the day in the stock division. I want to talk about this a little bit more because we talked about limited horsepower. So while that it would seem like a huge disadvantage, if you will, oh man, I got to race in stock. Actually, this is where true champions are built, because every single thing that you do on that boat and on the course either translates to you moving further ahead or behind, and you can't cheat with horsepower. Does that make sense?
It makes sense,
You can't
yes.
make mistakes. You've got to
Yes.
learn. You've got to stay on track. Like you were talking about earlier, oh, it looks like they're a little bit off course. You learn all of those things in the stock division, so when you move up and get more horsepower, you're able to translate those skills now to faster boats.
And you know exactly what line to take and things like that.
Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. Very well said. You know, and just managing waves, just managing the conditions, as both Peter and Kylie were educating us on, right? Being able to go through those waves, manage your resources, manage you mentally, because it'll wear you out, as we have seen.
Oh yeah, we've seen riders come in and look at their reaction.
Speaking of reactions, let's take this rider coming in. All right, looks like we just got an update. Vanceted K actually is registering on the GPS as stopped at the moment. So he's been down for 5 minutes. We're just seeing if the boat, if it's something with the boat and they can get it fixed, or if he is going to need to get a tow in. And looks like we got another rider in, and that is that 785? Taking a quick look here.
Number
19 is just now
19.
coming in. Siramak Shahupong from Thailand has started his first leg fuel stop. And you can see our race director, Simon Ricks, down overseeing.
We're going to see if President K can get back in the competition.
Our onboard view, and we actually thought that was a racer earlier, but that's actually one of our course marshals, I believe. You could see the flags on the front. Nick and I both were just taking an extra look at that, and right now they are watching the race conditions and checking on their riders.
All right. Yeah, bend your head a little bit.
Again, waiting on the update for boat number 12, who was in third. You see the hand shaking too, yeah.
You saw that. I was just going to say something about that.
Yeah. Also sponsored by FKT. We didn't see that earlier on this, but that's Siramak Shahupong. Now here's an interesting note. Actually trying to get that
massage
tightness.
up, yeah.
Yep. They're just trying to loosen up those forearms. Forearm pump is a legitimate problem in racing, runabout racing and stand-up, but even more so in runabout. All right.
Oh, Matt's doing a great job.
Yes, he is holding strong, and definitely I could see the confidence down there watching the team as they cheered him on. Our team managers with big grins on their faces. And Kasadi Tirpratap, despite the fact that he came back in that fourth place spot, is up in second again.
Well, he's not that far from that buoy number 10 there.
No, he is definitely putting pressure on Matt Daly. He's going to keep Matt Daly honest, as we like to say. And Khalid Salih right in third, and we are waiting for that update on boat number 12. That is Vanceted K. It's a tough break for. And we think it's just a boat problem, so they're going to let us know as soon as they have that update. And there's Matt Daly.
Well, you know Matt can make no mistakes right now because right behind him is number 142. There he is, Chrysidid.
Matt out of Gold Coast, that's Queensland. And then, of course, we got the update. So, a company in Bangkok, Thailand, him and his family. I love the fact that he said he disliked cold weather. Matt, I can completely concur. The manager of Jet Sport Australia and Jet Sport Asia. And I tell you what, talking about somebody that lives their goals, his goals, enjoy
Check,
life
check.
and have fun racing, and I would say he truly does exemplify that you can live your dreams. Talking about Matt Daly, your current race leader, as we watch the WGP 1 WaterJet Offshore World Championship.
785 moving in, coming in towards the hot pit.
Yeah, the hot pit area.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Sometimes, you know, when I think about hot pit,
I'm wondering where you're going
no,
with this.
you was talking about food, right?
Oh, I
was
see.
hot pot. You know?
Oh, hot pots.
Yeah.
Do you know
so-
I've never had one of those?
Well, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But
Hot pits and hot pots.
yep. But right now we're at the hot pit.
Barricade, he got to it, so giving him an opportunity to take a break. You're watching 785's fuel stop. That is Chachuan Tong from Thailand, riding for Superjet and JS Racing Team. And the green flag goes up for boat number 19,
All right, he's ready to go back out.
Siramak.
He's hydrated.
Sheshu Pong from Thailand. Oh, another great job for the pit crew. Again, maintaining the not quite weightless, 30 kilometers or less. These guys very aware of the fact that this is a massive deduction of points if they go over that speed before they get to the double greens. We talked about that extensively in the riders' meeting yesterday. And just comes up on takes a turn. He dropped down in speed even more.
You know what? I mean, that. All right, right back out in the water it goes. 785 is up next.
Yeah, just helping him with the fit on that life jacket. Getting that back off. That's a side release life jacket.
Chachawan riding for Superjet
Yep.
and JS Racing Team.
Chachuan also has a really nice back brace as well. Those things are amazing when you're out there riding, just helping to keep your posture, but also I think it also helps with some support on your back. Yeah. You are really
You don't want to put a lot of
taking-
strain on that back when you're doing out there.
No, you're really taking a pounding from the waves, so those kind of extra things that you have on your body when you're out there riding just helps tremendously. But it all adds to the heat, right? So we were talking about you got to try to be as cool as possible. Humidity is nothing to be shirking off when you're dealing with racing.
No, no, no. Oh, Matt is approaching as... Uh-oh. Look at that. Don. 142. Guess it did. He's leading, coming into the 10th buoy. Uh-oh.
That's interesting. That turned around.
Okay.
I like how the team's
Okay.
very quick to correct us. No, no, no.
Well, you know, you got to give us the excitement. You know what I mean? A little excitement.
All right, so we've top two riders have taken the turn on prompt FK, and they're coming back. Matt Daly still leading, and Kasadi Tira Pratif is in second.
You want to make sure that, hey, still lead, all right?
Yeah, you don't want to mess up on the call. They will
Yeah.
let you know immediately. Vote number 33, that is Philin Sully in the third place spot. That was adorable.
All right, they're on their final leg back.
All right, B. Kun Kao from the live streams, doing a shout out for 142. Go KT.
KT, that's Cassadit's
Cassadit, yeah.
FC.
Yep, your gentleman up in second, Cassadit. First learned to ride when he was 7 years old. What an outstanding performance this afternoon. His parents introduced him to this, by the way. And once he realized that he had a talent for it, he said, I really started training seriously. My favorite thing on this profile, though, is his name for Cassadit is Champ. And he's certainly put on a great ride today. 21 years fast. Nong Champ? Nong Champ. Oh, young champ. Oh, thank you, Nick. All right, looks like these guys are coming up on Kata Beach.
Okay, we'll have to see if Matt can finish here.
They're not even paying attention
They're not
to you
even
right
paying
now.
attention. They're so confident. They're not even paying attention.
Yep. Going by Kata Beach. That is the surfing spot in Phuket, offering a very consistent wave set. And that consistent wave sets throughout the year. The low season is peak surfing season, and you'll find a ton of surfers out by Kata Beach pretty much every day.
The current leader, Matt Daly, just passed Nui Beach.
All right, Matt Daly usually rides on number 14. He said race number 13 is unlucky, so 14 must be lucky. Great mentality for the gentleman from Australia.
Yep. They're in a good mood, all right.
Christian DeAugustine down there hanging out with them, cheering on. Sponsors, by the way, for Matt Daly: Jet Sport Australia, Asia, CRC Group Thailand, FlowJet Racing, WSM Performance Parts, ODI Grips, Solus Impellers, and Works Racing. Just some of the great support that this rider's been getting this year. Boat is built by Jet Sport as well. I see Team Flamingo in the house shouting out for Philin Sali, half brother to somebody I'm pretty sure that you know, Omut Sali. Omut, a world champion in his own right, and now got some more family hanging out, entering the race scene. And what a big shout out to for Cambodia, making a big splash in jet ski racing. And thanks so much to Flamingo Jet Team for putting all that together for them. Rudy here joining them as well this week. Rudy has been a longtime friend of Flamingo and also a big-time help for him, and he's here this weekend as well as part of their team. All right, take a look. Matt Daly starting to open up that distance, Nick.
Well, he's passing the, approaching the, well, he passed Kata Beach right now, as you can see. Uh-oh, 142 has stopped. And here is 3-3.
All right, Philin Sali is actually going to move into second. Henry.
There's the cheering section.
Henry down here, the cheering fans. All right, Philin Sali has moved in. Meanwhile, Cassadit is having trouble. Oh, it's a super tough break for this gentleman.
Oh, a little more.
Oh, falling back just a smidge. Philin Sali officially moved into second.
Oh.
Oh, man. Hopefully, Cassadit will get that boat back going.
Oh, I think he's going to catch up with Matt Daly now. Uh-oh.
FKT Concrete Team is shouting out their feelings on this one. Let's go, let's go. So you can see 150. 150 is actually going the other direction. Yeah, I'm not seeing 33 actually showing up on screen here, but they were there. So Philin Salih is in second. Casadit Terafi.
Did he turn off his GPS?
Oh no, Philin went swimming? No, don't say that. Where? Oh, he's back. What the heck? So Casadit
back. Oh, okay.
Casadit back in second.
Yeah.
Keeping the announcers honest. I like it. Oh, here we go. Look at this. This is what happens when you get team managers all in one group. This is as much competition happening here at HQ than is happening on the water. That is awesome.
Oh, now it's a head-to-head.
All right, Casadit is catching up with Matt Daly.
Approaching the Quran Beach.
And Philin Salih still got third. And a lot of money, 13,500 USD on the line for just this particular class.
You can pay rent for a couple of months with that.
Oh man, yeah, you do quite a lot underneath the hood of a boat with that kind of money. All right,
guess it looks like he's getting closer. Look at it.
Yeah, Matt Daly running around 81 miles an hour.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh. Uh-oh.
All right, so here's what we're giggling about if you're listening on the live stream. So the GPS, so the gentleman from GoTech 7, that's actually Louis Oliver, is just an absolute sweetheart. So when he opened the screen up, you could see there was more distance between Matt Daly and Casadit.
They're messing with us here.
They are messing with us big time. That's what I'm talking about. Technology is power right now. Oh, goodness. Fantastic coverage, by the way, from our GPS tracking system. We're very excited to have that as a part of this race stop this year and really appreciate you guys.
Right now, average speed is 75 for Matt. Fighting for Australia, CRC Group, Jet Sport.
All right, Katanoi, just south of Kata Beach, is a stunning little bay, perfect for swimming, snorkeling, or strolling, and they are just going past that. That's right. Bjornitz, also shouting out for 142, Zach Lashmar. Come on, Team Jet Sport. A lot of support from the live stream for the different riders.
I think they're about 15 more kilometers from the finish line.
Yep. Naranart at about 50 kilometers. That's the 150 boat. Still on that front leg, or if you won the first leg of the second lap, going back towards Promtep Cape.
Cyril slowed down a little bit there.
Yeah.
Number 19 at about 47.
Yep, just looking for an update on boat number 12, and it sounds like the course marshals might have pulled him off the course. We'll see. Get an update on that, but it sounded like that boat did stop for Vanson and Kay. Now, the way that's going to work, if they did have boat problems, what they'll do, instead of towing the rider back to the starting point, which we normally do in close course race, we just bring him back to the start line. In this situation, because of the additional safety regulations, they will actually have the course marshals take them out to one of the rescue boats, and they will stand by at that rescue boat until the end of the race, and then they bring them back. So basically right now you're just out enjoying the sun if you have a boat that's gone down. All right, we've got Casadit and Matt Daly. And there is Van popping back up.
Right now it's just between the two, 14
Yeah.
and 142.
Yep, and you can see that Van's having the boat issues. He was at 5 kilometers per hour, so that GPS was definitely blinking.
He's at 0 now. I think he stopped completely right now
Yeah.
for Vaseline K.
Oh, and then he's down to 0. You're right. Yep. So they are going to end up. Giving them a tow for sure. All right, your race leaders, Matt Daly and Casadit Terapratip, for your novice stock class. This is our final leg in the last series of beaches that they're going to navigate before they come back to Bang Tao Beach, and a checker flag awaits.
Once Matt hits that final corner there, he's probably going to take the same line, the closest or the shortest route towards the checkered flag.
Yep, and mind you, even though they go through the checkers, even on this final one, he will have to reduce down to 30 kilometers, or they will be docked on penalties. And don't forget, even though they may be leading, we do have to assess any penalties before we do our final top 3. You and I don't necessarily know what penalties they've gotten throughout these 2 legs.
Exactly.
So we'll call it like we see it on the screen, of course, and we'll give you the update.
But the official decisions have to be with the race directors.
Yep, absolutely, sir. And of course, you have to go through TAC, and then they assess any penalties or none if they didn't get any penalties. We talked about that. Miss buoys can account for points. I think it's 20 points if you miss a buoy.
Well, I mean, looking at from our standpoint, Matt didn't make any misjudgments at all while he's in the water. Looks pretty clean from where I'm looking at.
Yeah, no, that looked solid, and it's interesting because we pulled out here, right? So that looks really, really close. But Matt Daly and Casadit Terapratip are your 2 leaders, and then Vancity K is actually under a tow. And right now we've got Philin Salih, who was in 3rd.
He's still hold 3rd.
Yep.
Oh,ไม่ต้องอาย ไม่ต้องอาย เห็นกล้องแล้วอาย Hello. Oh,
I'm just translating. Don't be shy, apparently, is what you're saying to these guys.
There you go. Say hello. You guys know each other.
Again, you're watching the WGP 1 WaterJet Offshore World Championship. And couldn't have picked a more beautiful location if we tried. Phuket, Thailand.
I'm at the beach, baby.
You're at one of the most coveted beaches in the world.
I'm going to take some pictures later on. Well, before they come in for the final checkered flag here, Don, let's take. You want to take a quick thanks to our sponsors, real quick?
Yeah, most definitely. Thanks to the Sports Authority of Thailand, Sports Authority Tourism, and the Tourism Authority of Thailand as well. Laguna Beach, our Sport Development Fund, of course, the IJSBA. All right, TJSBA, another great sponsor. Coca-Cola, although it hasn't jumped up yet. Thai World Series, Asian Multisports, and of course, the Jet Ski World Cup. 3BB Broadband, special thanks to them as well. There's Asia Coca-Cola. National Telecom.
NT.
And of course, WGP 1 WaterJet World Grand Prix Series. Definitely letting you read that one.
Ta. Sports Authority of Thailand. The National Sports Development Fund.
See, I knew that one. Actually knew that one. Laguna, Phuket.
All right, right there, number 14 and 142 coming in towards the checkered flag.
Heading towards Laguna, Phuket, 1,000 acres.
3Ks, 12Ks, 23, 24. Are they confusing me now?
What are you doing over there? All right, coming towards Laguna, Phuket. 1,000 acres of lush parkland and beachfront, 8 world-class hotels and premium facilities, and 18-hole golf course, luxury spas, exceptional dining options, and a variety of branded apartments and villas, all right here at Laguna, Phuket. All right, Matt Daly. Pedal to the metal, as Nick said earlier. Final couple of kilometers as they come in.
A little bit less than 3, I think. 3 kilometers left.
Yeah. Kasadit Terapati, second. Falin Sali, third. All right, when we saw that line across the screen, that was indicating that they had already traversed 114 kilometers of this track. So that was what that indicator was. 120 kilometers total is what we're looking at. That is massive. I'm sure we mentioned this before, but again, this is one of the longest, if not the longest, endurance offshore racing events in the world. Oh, now we're at it again, just to show you. 117 kilometers, so we're 3 km away.
All right, here they come, approaching the finish line.
Those final parts are going to be very tense for the crews as the team's making their way down to the beach already. See him. Yep, just looking out over the horizon here from the beach, you could see just how close Matt Daly and Kasadit Terapati really are.
Now, if you don't know what they are, they're up there on the left side, right there, upper left, coming in, head to head.
Ooh, that is going to be a tight race as these guys finish this last 3 kilometers coming in towards Laguna Beach. And you get to watch that live with us as we get ready to the finish. It is the rider from Thailand, Kasadit Terapati, going head-to-head with Matt Daly from Australia. And there is your shot of these riders making their way out to this final part and making a run for the checker flag.
It's getting close.
Oh, it is extremely close.
He's going for it. I don't think he's going to let Matt off the hook that easy.
Well, that's a good call. 120 kilometers, and look at these guys side by side on the final.
Oh, boy.
And it was Matt Daly, but now Kasadit's nosing ahead of him. Yeah. Matt Daly on the white nose of that boat. You can see number 14.
Matt's on the right side of the screen.
This is like a horse race. These guys are very close coming in, and the crowd's going nuts.
Uh-oh, there's the team.
Yep. FKT screaming.
Oh!
Nice turn for Casadit and Daly, and it looks like Casadit takes the win.
Oh my! You know what that's from? That's from experience. Woo. From the close course.
What a beautiful run for both of them. Matt Daly head-to-head with Casadit Tirapatet.
I call that a steal.
That was actually a steal. Matt Daly with the lead almost all the way on that last leg, Nick, and then that final portion. Casadit just snuck the inside.
That's brutal.
Well, it depends on what boat you're on.
Oh my goodness.
All right, we're going to make our way down to the beach and get a chance to catch up with our riders.
Oh, we got to talk to him about this.
What a beautiful finish from our top two riders, and they put on a show from first to finish. If you think about that whole shot, it was these two going at it even on the start. And Nick, I have to say that start was pretty impressive for both of them. And you and I talked about the fact that, gee, I hope they're not over-amping it on this first couple of kilometers, but they proved us wrong.
They went for it, head-to-head all the way through.
Tremendous ride, and particularly from Casadit, who was visibly fighting some challenges physically when he came in on that first leg. And for him to do such a great job, that was impressive.
All right, we're going to take, let me talk to Matt a little bit.
Yeah, catch up with Matt Daly here. Going great, sir. How are you today?
Yeah, good.
We'll let you get that helmet off. Take a breath. Yeah, no problem, sir.
Okay, let the man rest a little bit. Okay, don't stick that mic in his mouth. Let the man rest. He just came in from 120K.
No rest for the wicked. How you doing, Matt?
Yeah, it was good.
Describe that for me.
Yeah, it would have been nice to be a little bit rougher, but it was a good day, and ski went well. So credit to all the team, CRC Racing, FlowJet, JetSport, put a good package together.
Now, were you distracted at all with all these incredible locations that you were going by?
Yeah, took in a little bit of the scenery, but it was, yeah, there's plenty of safety guys out there. It was really well organised. It was fantastic.
Well, I tell you what, sir, from first to finish, you put on a spectacular show. How'd the boat run for you?
Yeah, boat was really good in the rough. We were lacking maybe a little bit of speed, but faultless.
Were you feeling the pressure from Casadit on that final leg?
Yeah, I could see him coming definitely a little bit faster. As I said, it was pretty flat out there, so it was hard to hold him off.
Well, I'm certainly glad that you made the trip over.
Hey, Don, it doesn't seem like he's tired at all.
No, you're...
Yeah, a little bit easier than the stand-up.
A lot of training, I can tell.
Yeah, been training hard. Thanks to my training partner back home, Jake Barker.
Oh, I know Jake. Yeah, okay. Now I'm not surprised at all to see that riding style. That looked familiar.
Yeah, no, he's a great guy.
Perfect. Your team was very, very proud of you today, Matt. Thanks so much.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Matt.
it. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, that was awesome.
Oh, well.
All right, we got to find Casadit.
Let's go find Casadit. That's where is that?
Oh, it won't go. Oh, okay. So we were already informed by the production crew, thou shalt not be walking quite that far.
Number 3.
So your third place rider coming in, that is Falin Salih, who had also an awesome race, and he is making his way into the shore right now. And we'll be interviewing Casadit in just a minute. I believe they're bringing him down.
Over, yeah.
But I hope you guys enjoyed this today. You've been watching the action for the WGP WaterJet Offshore World Championship right here in Phuket, Thailand. That was our first big race of the day. We've got an entire weekend of action still for tomorrow. And, of course, the premier racing of the top riders on Sunday.
And then we have, don't forget, after this one, take a quick break, and then we're going to have another category for you, right? That's the run about 300 HP.
Yes, sir.
Right?
All right. On to be all about stock today, and then we're just going to work our way through the separate divisions, all of this under the IJSBA rules. And I got to say, just your thoughts, Nick, after watching this first race?
Well, you know, It was neck and neck. It was exciting. You know, we were sitting there, you know, watching the competition, and then at the end, when they coming in, come on, you know what I mean? Come on, that's like incredible. And then Matt, I can't believe he's not even tired.
Yeah, that was a little intimidating. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
I mean, I thought he was, you know, I was like, hey, when you know he comes in, takes the helmet off, I thought he would be at least, you know, huffing and puffing.
Yep.
There's no effect.
Absolutely.
And then he says, oh, just another day.
Just
You know,
another
just another day.
All right, that was Philin Salih that the crews are cheering for. Philin out of Cambodia. He just came in that third place spot.
Oh, here he is.
right.
Yes, I did. Here he comes.
Kasadit.
Sawadee Cup. You want to go ahead and...
Oh, yeah,
go ahead,
absolutely.
go ahead.
All right, so Kasadit, you got to give me a little feedback. After that first leg, you looked a little bit tired. I was so impressed with your run. Describe how you were feeling out there.
Very big wave in front of Patong Beach out there, and like 2 meters wave over there, and I can't see a buoy number. I can see, but I go to Lam Pomtep, yeah, then come back.
You looked amazing. Tell me about chasing down Matt Daly and that final part.
He's very good rider, and but I better.
No, he didn't say it.
Best interview ever. In short, rocked it.
Yep,
Tell me about some of your sponsors, sir.
Thank you, FKT Concrete and Mahanakorn University, and my family and my team, my mechanic, Sombat Jet Factory team, and Singha Beer. Yeah, thank you.
I have to tell you, we were getting as much fun watching the teams. They were just as competitive back in HQ as you guys were out on the water. I want to just have you tell us a little bit about your team manager and these guys, because they were really rooting for you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
เขาอยากจะถามว่าพูดถึงผู้จัดการทีมแล้วก็ลูกทีมอะไรบ้างครับว่าที่เตรียมยังไง
Oh, this is my manager. She's my sister. Come here, and my father. So I prepare for this competition for 3 months. Like after World Cup at Pattaya, then prepare practice every week and buy a new jet ski for this race.
Well, you did absolutely amazing. Your sister was super fun to watch, and your dad as well. You could tell there were moments in that race. They were so nervous for you, but you did a spectacular job. How did you like the water conditions out there?
It's very difficult comparing with Pattaya and Phuket. Phuket is like very big, yeah. So it's more difficult than Pattaya.
I tell you what, they made it look easy, don't
เดี๋ยว
you
ภา
think?
ษาภาษาไทยนิดนึงก็แล้วกันรู้สึกยังไงครับการที่นำชัยชนะในรุ่นของนี้ได้ของให้คนไทย
เป็นการของทีมก็เป็นเหมือนเรียกความมั่นใจให้กับทีมงานแล้วก็เพื่อนร่วมผมก็ต้องแข่งอีก1รุ่นนะครับก็ถ้าได้แชมป์ไป1รุ่นแล้วก็มั่นใจมากขึ้นครับว่าตอนบ่ายก็น่าจะเอามาอีกรุ่นครับ
You know he's going back in another category.
Oh yeah, that's right. Are you racing in limited? Or are you going pro?
Stock class 300 stock class.
Oh, today.
Today.
Going back out today. Okay. All right. Are you taking a nap in between, or what? What are you doing to rest in between?
Taking a nap. In the car.
He's going in the car taking a nap. Okay.
Oh, that was perfect. Thank you so much,
All right, thank you.
Kasadit.
ขอบคุณมากครับ
You're awesome. Thank you. You did amazing.
All right, where's my
All right, again, our top three, just to recap on that, Matt Daly taking the win, or excuse me, taking second place, Kasadit, Tarapat Rich right at the end, taking the win on this class. What a tremendous, it was really a tremendous takeover and a sneak attack
Oh, yeah.
on that final leg, Nick.
Yeah, I like his answer though.
Yeah.
You know when you asked him.
I'm better.
I'm better.
Yeah, it could have got more fun than that. Thank you so much for helping him and Ty as well. But I love the fact that we are truly showing an international circuit here this weekend.
Yes,
so
indeed.
Just, recap on the countries that were represented in the top three. In Thailand, but in second This was Australia.
Australia.
And then third, Cambodia, represented by Phalin Salih. Thank you so much for watching the first round.
We're going to take a quick break.
No,
and
no,
then,
yeah, whatever
But we're
you'd
not going
like
to
to
take
do.
a break. We're not taking a break. But I'm just saying, you know, the riders are taking a break, and then we're going to come back with more action. Now, you know what? He's coming back. I mean, he better get some. I mean, it's hard.
Yeah, to be able to do one of these races like that and to be able to recover so quickly, super impressive. But the fact that he's doing back-to-backs today, that's even
And
more.
it sounds like that he's very confident in the next category. You know what I mean? That hey, I'm coming back, and I want to get that too.
Yeah, see how he does. Certainly all that still to unfold
And
for you. We'll be
yeah.
taking a break. Oh, number 3 is here. Yay!
Come on.
Come on in. Oh, you're doing it in Thai.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
actually.
come on that side. Go on that side for me. All right. เอาละครับรู้สึกไงครับวันนี้โอ้โหเข้ามาอันดับที่ 3เหนื่อยไหมเหนื่อย
ไม่ค่อยเท่าไหร่นะครับเพราะว่าปกติทีมผมมาซ้อมทะเลบ่อยอยู่แล้ว
แล้ววันพี่แพรนะครับทีมเราเนี่ยพรีแพรยังไงบ้างนะครับในการมาแข่งขันวันนี้ทีมพรีแพรหรือว่าทีมเตรียมพร้อมยังไงครับกับการแข่งขันในวันนี้
เตรียมพร้อมครับพร้อมทุกอย่างครับ เพราะว่าก็ซ้อมหนักเหมือนกันครับกว่าจะมาแข่งที่นี่ครับ
วันนี้นะครับเวลาเราแข่งเสร็จเอารู้ว่าเหนื่อยไหมพูดแบบแทบจะพูดไม่ไทย แล้วเดี๋ยววันพรุ่งนี้กับวันอาทิตย์เนี่ยเราจะมีแข่งต่อไหมหรือมีอีกรุ่นไหม
ไม่มีครับผมลงแค่รุ่นเดียวครับ
รุ่นเดียวนะครับแล้วเราพอใจไหมครับในแรกของการแข่งขัน endurance ของปี 2023 เนี่ย
พอ
ครั้
ใจ
งแรก
มากครับทำให้เต็มที่ภูมิใจในตัวเองที่ทำได้แล้วครับ
โอเคนะครับโอเคเดี๋ยวจะให้ไปพักดีกว่าเดี๋ยวไปผ่อนขอบคุณมากนะครับผมครับ
Oh, he did awesome. All right. Guys. Oh.
All right, we're going to be right back with more action for you right here on Laguna Beach.
All right, that is the first, Don, our first half of the competition today.
Yeah, what a great morning we had. That was a fantastic kickoff. You were watching the first of those stock classes, and that performance that we just saw from Matt Daly, Kasadit Terapratap, and of course Phalin Salih, and you can't count out Vancident K because the first part of the race, that gentleman was on fire. Unfortunately, boat troubles hindered him. Wasn't able to make that top 5. Spectacular performance by all the teams and the countries involved.
That's right. Don't forget, later on in about maybe 1:1300, right?
Yeah,
We're gonna get
approximately.
we're gonna get started with the next category.
Yes.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Right now, we're gonna take a quick break, Don. Have some lunch.
Absolutely.
Like you said, food.
Go enjoy some
All right.
beautiful sand. We'll see you guys in just a little bit.
2 check 2 1 2 2
Official partner, Sport Authority of Thailand.
National Sport Development Funds. WaterJet competition over a distance of 120 kilometers. One World Challenge. The rider from which nation will win this World Championship? WGP Offshore World Championship 2023. 16th to 19th March at Laguna, Phuket. With so much more to enjoy in the race. Supported by Ministry of Tourism and Sports, Sport Authority of Thailand, National Sport Development Fund. Welcome to Thailand. Thai Airways International.
3, 2, 1.